And we are live. So everyone, welcome to the stream. This is my first ever stream I've ever done. So I'm probably going to be talking to myself for probably the first 5 minutes until Tom gets on. But if you are in the chat, obviously say hello. And hopefully you can hear me as well. So let me know if you can hear me, because that'd be awesome, because I can't tell. I've got no idea what I'm doing, so I'm completely winging this. So yeah, welcome to the live stream with Tom Cronin of Celestial Sanctuary, brilliant death metal band, and hopefully he'll appear in the stream in a second. I'll add him in and we'll get stuck in. So yeah, leave me a comment to see if you can hear me, because I feel like I'm talking to myself at the moment. It says I've got 6 viewers though, so must be doing something right. But yeah, so we are talking about this band and this specific record today, or this evening, depends where you are. This one here. Oh, he's coming on now, look at that. Can you hear me, Gordon? Can you hear me? Oh, awesome. Cheers, Daz. See, I feel like I'm talking to myself. It's all kicking off now, look at that. Oh, look at old man Anthony's on there, Gordon's in there, all the celebrities. How is everyone? Try and keep my eyes on both things. Let there be doom. Isaac, hope you're well, mate. Blake with a brilliant record collection. On the mug, yeah. If you should see the can I'm drinking out of, it's as big as my head. Got the old facts on the go tonight. Anyone had that before? I've already nearly finished this, only opened it 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to be absolutely spanked by the end of this. Ugh. Waiting on the repress. Yeah, I'm quite lucky I got that record when I did, because this literally flew off the shelf. As soon as I heard about it, it was near enough gone. But I think it's been repressed for August though, so you ain't got long to wait. Hello, Aiden. I hope you're well, mate. He's not on there yet. I think he's just clicking through the link, and he'll be about in a second. I hope I've done it right. So what's everyone been up to? What's people been listening to? Evening, Chris. I'm treating that way too fast. I'm slow down now. It's too nice. 8 people already. We're only, what, 2 minutes in? That's awesome. Oh, Kenny's even in there. Have you run out just for men? Yeah, I have, dickhead. I'm well grey. But I've still got some hair, unlike some people. Abba Minor. It's a good name for you. For anyone that doesn't know, the whole reason I'm doing this live chat is because of Anthony at Metal Miners. He was the one that kind of bullied me into doing this for quite a few months now. And in the end, I caved. And here we are. Let's check my Instagram just to make sure he actually has the right link. Yeah. Yes, that. Oh, he's downloading Chrome. Good. What's that? Mortuary Spawn and Sewer Fiend EPs. You say that. They are sat right in front of you right now. These are quality. Couldn't agree more with you, Chris. They are brilliant. Really enjoying them. Been spinning them loads and loads. I've got to be careful, because hopefully they'll be on Spotify soon, because I think the tape player's going to get worn out if I keep playing them. They are brilliant. I love it. That's to download Chrome. I bet he's an iPhone user as well. Apple product. Oh shit. So yeah. I don't really know what to say until he comes on. We've got 12 people on there. That's awesome. We're already nearly 5 minutes in, which is brilliant. So welcome everyone, and also a big thank you to everyone who subscribed to the channel recently. That is just shot up. And I can only guess it's because of Tom coming on that it's done that, because I haven't really put out any decent content for a good 2 weeks now. Yeah, you must admit, you're right, Dan, because there's loads of bands that have just kind of appeared in England that are all like death doom, death metal, and they're all like formed like last year during lockdown, which is insane. because it's now put loads of pressure on my band to kind of fit in with them lot because they're all really, really fucking good. Fee says hi. I'll say hi to Fee for me, Kenny. Oh, Barley's in there as well. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Everyone's around stateside. Awesome. I'm reading the comments as well, so if I look like I'm losing my mind, it's because I'm reading. I look well angry when I read, apparently. And my phone is showing me text messages from people. 13 people in the chat. Awesome. I'm going to stop drinking the beer now. But I will say you have to appreciate the beer can. Look how awesome that is. I collect these because they are literally the size of my head. And they're amazing. One of the best lagers you can buy. So if you've never checked out that, go check out some facts because they are really, really nice. Too nice. Still downloading Chrome. Oh, Wendy's in. Hello, Wendy. Hope you're well. Countess herself. Not that big. Oh yeah, just because you live in America, you think all your beers are bigger. I understand. Did I get a little? No. B&M, mate. B&M. You get them for about £2.30. And Wendy's still awake for all of that. She's getting on a bit now, so well done, Wendy. Dickhead and signed off. Coffee mulch, new repress, Chris. Yeah, I was lucky to get the original press when it came out because literally they didn't announce it. They just put it online, and if you got one, you got one. We even got it on tape up there somewhere. Awesome EP. Ah, and Tom is about, so let's add Tom into the stream. Hello,
Can you
mate.
hear me? Hello, you all right?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, good, man. So it's good to finally be on. Sorry for the delay there.
That's all right. Google Chrome, iPhone user.
You what? Sorry.
What web browser are you using?
I'm using Chrome, but on my iMac.
See, I knew it. Apple user. Nailed it.
How are you, mate? You say that? Yeah, good, man. Good. I've had a long day at work.
But, yeah, I've done nothing today, so I'm all right.
Yeah. Nice. Just chilling all day, have you?
Well, I'm apparently working, but yeah, pretty much an easy day. So yeah, this is Tom of Celestial Sanctuary. Absolutely amazing album. I'll show it off here. So Tom is, I believe, the front man and the mastermind behind the band. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say it's all you. All credit goes to you.
All credit goes to me. Yeah. Fuck the other guys. It's all me.
Cool, man. So yeah, I mean, I have to ask: is Celestial Sanctuary? Obviously, if anyone doesn't know, it's a Bolt Thrower song. Yeah. Off the Fourth Crusade. Is that the reason behind it? Big Bolt Thrower fan?
Yeah, I am a big Bolt Thrower fan. Yeah, huge, and like that was my favorite record of theirs at the time, but it's since changed to For Victory.
Yeah, that's very riffy. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's sick, and the production's so good. But yeah, like before it became Celestial Sanctuary, I had some other name, which I'm not going to repeat because I can't even remember it. But it was so shit, and I was just like, nah. And I just, I think I was listening to the CD in my car. No, it wouldn't have been the CD. I was listening to it in my car, and the name popped up, and I thought, oh, that's fucking well good, actually. I'm going to just have that.
Yeah. So is Celestial Sanctuary, we're saying, a new band because you formed around 2019, is that right? Or is it a bit older than that?
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's just before I'd sort of put the first demo online. I mean, I say it's from that date because I only sort of wrote and recorded that like all in one weekend.
Okay, so you're the sole riff writer of Celestial Sanctuary then?
Yeah. I mean, since the album's been done, Matt, who plays guitar, he came on sort of like after the fact. But yeah, so all of the riffs you've heard there, they're all my riffs.
So we know Tom's obviously a very good riff writer then.
I feel like I'm being like really like bloody big-headed about it.
Yeah, well, it's true though, isn't it? If you write all the music, you've got to take all the credit for it, haven't you?
I guess so.
I take it you do all the lyrics as well then, as well?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, nice, man. So your journey into heavy metal, I think we're probably about a similar age, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm 33.
You're a bit older than me then, I'm only 32. So yeah, so So how did you start getting into it then? Has it purely been the like classic stuff, and then you kind of molded yourself into death metal over the years?
Yeah, basically. So like, I guess like the good way to like illustrate it is, I love Metallica from like being a kid. Just
Fine.
basically because of my dad. Um, and then my first gig that I ever went to was Ozfest 2001, and
Okay,
like,
yeah,
you know, I must have been 13, I think it is. And yeah, obviously, like seeing the original Black Sabbath lineup, and I buzzed off that sort of thing. So it's just been like a downward spiral from there, basically.
maybe as you get older, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I always just loved metal, and then I was in a metal band for years. And we played like quite a lot, toured like all over the place. But we got lumped in with like a lot of hardcore bands. Just I think it's just because of the t-shirts we wore and stuff, really.
Yeah.
And then yeah, over the years, just always sort of leaned towards it. I mean, like back in the day, like I fucking loved like Vital Remains, Dechristianize, and Necrophagist and stuff like that. Like I always loved them like years ago. But then yeah, just it is sort of in the last probably 6-7 years, just started getting back into it and really like digging into it and sort of wanting to be a part of the community, I guess you could say.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Celestial Sanctuary's not your only band, I'm right.
No, that's
You've
correct.
got
Yeah.
a kind of death thrash band called Rogoon, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Tell us about that, because I have listened to that. That's really good. I actually
yeah.
really enjoyed that.
Thanks, man.
I'm not the biggest death thrash fan, but when it's done the right way, I can
Yeah.
really get into it. So yeah, tell us, how did that start out then?
So yeah, I was in through like my other bands that I did. I met this guy called Charlie who sings in Road Mutant.
Yeah.
And this was when I was living in Norwich, actually, which is where you're from, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
right. I know. Yeah.
yeah, so when I was living in Norwich, I hadn't done anything like musical like properly for years, and like Charlie knew that I like wrote all the stuff in my other bands and stuff, so he just like said, "Come on, like let's just do something because it's like a waste, sort of like not doing it, so to speak." Can you hear my breath like really loud? I keep hearing myself.
Because you're
Sorry.
right close to the mic, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So he just said like, "Come on, like let's do something," and like I'd been listening to like Gatecreeper and like Power Trip, like were the sort of like big ones at the time for me. And he was the same, and then he was sort of like wanted to chuck in some influence of like Trapped Under Ice and stuff. So it sort of like leaned into hardcore a bit as well.
Mm.
And then yeah, we just did that, and it's kind of a similar setup to what Celestial Sanctuary is. It's just Charlie was like writing all the lyrics and stuff for that. So I was just like say to people like, check it out if you just want Celestial Sanctuary but quicker.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's got that similar vibe to it, because I think it's just because of your guitar playing.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
certainly hear it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man. So Celestial Sanctuary is obviously you. I think, did you say Charlie is his name? Is he the bass player in Celestial Sanctuary?
Jay is the bass in Celestial.
Jay, that's right. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So you two have kind of moved into that other band.
Yeah.
And then you've got, is it James? His name, the drummer?
Yeah, James Burke. Yeah.
How did you get James involved? Because he's a beast behind the kit.
Oh, he's insane, isn't he?
And I know of him through the Infernal Sea, because I played with him a fair few times. I don't know if he was in the band at the time. Maybe one time we played with him, but I remember that band from when they very first started out, and they're insane now. What they are now. But
Yeah.
how did you get him involved? Because he's quite different in style to death metal. Well, I know of anyway.
So I've wanted to be in a band with James for years, because I knew him from when my other band used to play like around Cambridge and Peterborough and stuff like that. Because he'd be at like every single show. Like, you know, you go to a show, you see James there. And we never really spoke. And then he ended up playing drums in a band called the Argent Dawn, who I had like mutual friends with, and I sort of realized he was a fucking insane drummer then. And then like years just passed, and then I was sort of getting this up and running.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I just said to him like, "Do you fancy doing this?" Like, I know it's a bit different to what you're currently doing, but he was like, "Oh, funnily enough, like I've been listening to like loads of Entombed recently, so yeah, I'm well up for it." So I think it's just like a case of like good timing. He was in like the right space to sort of be willing to get involved, because he's a real busy guy. Like he runs his own recording studio as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's obviously been playing bands in years. He was in Romeo, Man Must Die as well. Have you heard them?
I know the name. I know the name. Yeah.
So he
That's
he
cool.
played with them as well, and they're fucking like ridiculous.
So, because you're lucky to have someone like that in your band who's just all around the kit, can do everything you want for death metal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure like having a good drummer is like
It's
key to
insanely
like
difficult to do.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure my drummer's watching this now, but he's not on the same level. But yeah, so also the other dude, I forget his name, so I do apologise.
That'd be
Matt,
Matt.
is it Matt? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen Matt before in Obscene Entity
Yeah, that's so
years
good.
ago. They were
Yeah.
really good. I've got their EP over there, and I
Mm.
always remember that band because they were a 3-piece, but they were so solid.
I was going to say, did you see him when they were a 3-piece or a 2-piece? Because for a while after,
They didn't have a bass player, did they, for a little while?
yeah, so they went down to being a 2-piece, but they still fucking like shredded it so hard, like it's
No,
unbelievable.
they were a 3-piece. We supported them in Norwich. That pub doesn't exist anymore.
Mm.
But I remember it vividly, and I know he's still in Voices, isn't he?
That's correct.
As
Yeah,
a rhythm
Shrines
guitarist.
as well.
Yeah, because he's an amazing guitar player.
Yeah.
So did he get involved just purely because you asked him to, or did he want to be in the band?
Well, I've known Matt again. I've known him for years. Like we went to college together. So when I was doing graphic design, he was doing like audio engineering. And this is going back to like 2000 and 2005. Really showing my age there now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've known him ever since then. And again, like we've talked about doing bands for like pretty much since we left college. So yeah, we've been wanting to do something for ages, and then this came about, and it seemed right. So I just said to him, like, "Do you fancy it?" And then I think the first time I asked him, he said no, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then I think I sent him some more demos. I was like, "Go on," and he was like, "Yeah, all right." So yeah, that's how that came about. So it's just like with all the guys, it's like nice how it sort of like it really fell into place, and like it just seems like it was all like good timing, and like it just worked perfectly basically because they're just real nice bunch of guys to be in band with as well. I've been in bands with like fucking Nightmares and stuff like that. And
oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
So do you rehearse as a band? I mean, like, I'm guessing geographically you're a bit dotted around to do that kind of thing.
It's not
Or
so
do you
bad.
actually need to? I guess do you with the material's already written, isn't it?
Yeah, we have been rehearsing quite a lot recently. It's not too bad. I mean, we go and practice at James's space, like over near Cambridge. I just like me and Matt meet and go over there, and it's only sort of like half an hour from me. And then it's just Jay. He lives up in North. He lives in Swanton Morley, which you probably know where that is.
I grew up in Durham, so it's like 5 minutes from me.
Oh, right. Yeah. Jay just moved
there.
Jay just moved there, so he lives the furthest, but like he's like so enthusiastic about doing stuff like this that like it could be 3 hours away and he'd still be like, yeah, I'm well up for it, sort of thing. So yeah, that's not really been an issue. And like bands I've been in before, like obviously driving from Cambridge to Norwich to do band practice, is I've always had to do it, so it's fine.
Just a norm now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was living in Norwich and we were rehearsing up at Earth, when we were doing Road Mutant, like that was such a luxury to me to like just drive across the city to practice. I was like, fuck, this is so weird. Like I'm home at a reasonable time and I'm not knackered.
Yeah. See, our guitarist Andy, he lives in Ipswich, so he has the first. We're all in Norwich apart from him. So yeah, he has the hour I'll drive to get home. We finish like 11:30, so he's not home till like 1:45, something like that.
So what? It makes you feel like you've played a gig the night before, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. I guess it does. Yeah, because he's an older geezer as well, so he just has the CDs in the car. He can't stream or nothing like that. So
oh, really?
I don't know how he does it. Yeah.
So you must have a fucking good CD collection.
Well, I think that's because I burned him CDs to listen to. So this album here, released through Church Road Records and Redefining Darkness. I know Redefining Darkness well, but Church Road Records was a new one on me. Is that a label that you're friends with and you got involved with them, or did you just send a demo in and liked it?
No, it's kind of weird how it happened. Like, to be honest, it's all a bit of a blur, really. But I think so. Do you remember Holy Raw Records?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so there was a bit of controversy with them like last year because of the guy who owned it, and Justine, who runs Church Road with Sammy, she came over from Holy Raw. Anyway, that's like later on in the story. But yeah, Sammy just like messaged me saying, would you be up for Church Road, like putting it out in Europe and stuff like that? And we had like another UK label, so I sort of had to say like we have got someone else involved, but at this point, like Redefining Darkness were like the sort of like main stakeholder in it. Like they'd be putting a lot of energy into it. So just as a courtesy, I said like, for over here, like who would you rather go with? And he was like, well, we'll go with them. Just because of their track record. I think they'd put like one EP out and like got some like it's really hard to get press, isn't it? Like as I'm sure you probably know. And that, yeah, it's such a nightmare.
Unless you pay for it yourself, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Even then, like it's never a guarantee, is it? It's like you can give someone 500 quid and they'll be like, yeah, no one wants to do anything. It's like, oh, fucking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that again, that was just like another weird, like it just fell into place like really nicely. And Sammy is like, he's like big into death metal. He plays in a band called Employed to Serve as well, who you've probably heard. But yeah, he's been in like death metal bands for like years. He had like a one man death metal thing, and he's done like vocals for like Akakoka as well.
Like I know them very well. Well, we all know them very well.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, because it's a label I've never heard of before, and then I checked it out, and it's got a really strong roster, but it's also quite diverse as well. Because you've got the hardcore stuff on there.
Yeah.
You've got a bit of thrash in there, a bit of punk.
Yeah.
So you guys, you have that death metal sound. It's not strictly pure death metal to me. Because you've got like your band, for example.
Right. Yeah.
Because you've got that kind of Bolt Thrower-esque kind of riffing. But then the vocal style is more of a, say, a hardcore-ish to me. Is that because of the... Yeah, well, only subtle though. It's not. Yeah. It's death metal to me, but it reminds me a lot. You could transfer that to a hardcore style. In my ears, anyway.
Yeah.
So is that because of your influences? Is it not just purely death metal? You kind of pick influences from other bands for Celestial Sanctuary, or do you try and keep it purely death metal in your head?
Yeah, I mean that was kind of like the mission from the start, because a lot of bands that I've been in, it was all like we just get too like bogged down in like trying to pull in so many influences that it's like you sort of like lose sight of what you're trying to do. So like the mission from this for this like from the start was always like it has to be like just direct. If like other bits like creep in and it's natural, like say like if my vocals sound a bit like they could be transferred over to that, it's just like purely a natural thing. I mean, like, this is the first band I've ever done vocals in.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You do a fucking good job at it.
Oh, thank you, mate. But yeah, I just sort of like I just gave it a go, and like that's what came out. I didn't really like go into it thinking I want to sound like someone else. It's just because I don't know, like just thinking about like if you try and sound like someone else, the last thing you want is like someone going like, oh, they sound like blah blah blah. I mean, obviously it's natural, but you know you can't force it, and you know, yeah, I just did what I could and that come out.
No, that's good. So recording wise, did you do it all from home using your own gear, or did you book yourself into a studio and do it, you know, the hard way?
It was all like home recordings. Just because when it was being recorded, with like the pandemic and stuff going on, it was just like easier.
I was going to say that as well, because as a band, you started really at a bad time where you can't gig, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So did that kind of fuck up the process of starting the band, or did it make it just a bit easier to just kind of shut yourself away, write it all, and then kind of focus on after the pandemic what you're going to do, what the mission was going to be?
Yeah, 100%. Like definitely the latter there. Like, you know, I think about like what would have happened had it have not been this way. Because we did have shows booked. We had a festival thing booked for the summer, like last year, and like obviously that just got like pulled from underneath us. So I was sort of like, fuck it, like let's just start like writing, like put it together. And to be honest, like at the beginning, like when Redefining Darkness agreed to get involved, it was only going to be an EP. But then I sort of like, I was like, oh, I've got another song. Oh, I've got another song. So it ended up just being like a full length, and then yeah. But I think like I'm actually glad like the way that it went, you know, like as well we're playing shows. Like I always say, like it feels so weird because I'm so used to like playing fucking so much. Like Road Mutant, it must have been 2000 and 2018, 2019. We did like in the space of like a year, we did like 50 shows.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. But
yeah, we were just do though, isn't it? That's what you have to do to get noticed, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then so I felt weird, it felt like I was kind of cheating a bit. Like you know, getting a record like to be put out, and it's like, oh yeah, we hadn't even played a gig sort of thing. Like it kind of felt like we were sneaking in through the back door. But I thought, no, it's got to be like so many other bands like doing this, and I think it's just going to be like the norm for like the next sort of like few years, I think. But as well, it's not like I'm earned my stripes, you know. Like I just said, I've played like fucking loads of shows. I've driven to Bristol on a weeknight.
At the end of the day, if it's good music and it gets picked up by a big label like that, you're obviously doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't take that away from it.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, so, I'm real happy with like how it's all like panned out. Is, you know, I know that like a lot of it is like down to luck. I'm not going to sit here and say like, yeah, it's fucking, you know, we are owed all this, because it's not the case. Like for any band, like probably 60% of your like successes. Not that I'm saying we're a successful band, but like, you know, where we are now is like way more than anything I could have like
hoped really,
for.
Isn't it?
Pardon?
Yeah. It's like a dream, really, isn't it? Because you see what you've done in such a short space of time. Was about 3 years being active?
Yeah. So it's
done more than most bands do in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Right. So
it's been good.
Recording it from home, then, do you use a specific technique? Because it sounds absolutely massive. So I can only assume you've had a big cab, you've mic'd it up the proper way, or have you cheated? Well, it's not cheating really, but have you gone down the digital route and kind of done it that way, where you use like Kempers and XFXs and that kind of thing?
So it's like kind of a bit of both. Like I had I had to sell it quite recently, but I had like a real nice like Engel cab. So I run my 6505 into there and did that, and I must have like I don't know how many tracks I recorded on top of each other. So then like I did that, and then it's like blended with like plugins and stuff, just because like all of them are like so good, and if I've got the time to like make it sound even better, like why wouldn't I? Like I've got at the time I only had one mic, I had an SM58, so it's like, you know, I sort of thought like, oh, what else can I do like without spending any more money, because I'd been furloughed as well. So like I didn't have any money to spare, so I was like, well, I've got these like things that I use to record demos. Like if I blend it, see what it sounds like, and it sounded good. So I was like, why not? Like,
did you mix the whole album by yourself as well?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. First time I've done that as well.
Really? It doesn't show.
No.
No, it really doesn't. Yeah. That really surprised me. I didn't think you'd say that. That's really awesome.
Cheers, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, mate, it drove me insane. I don't think I'd ever do it again. Like, it drove me insane. So I was like, obviously, haven't been furloughed for like 9 months, I think it was. Obviously, I had a lot of time. Like, I haven't had spare time like since I can ever remember. So like just having this time, and I thought like, yeah, I'll get to grips with Logic. Like I think I got like a student download of Logic, legitimately. Yeah. Wank. Yeah, so I was just like, I just learned that in like all of that in lockdown as well, and did it that way. But yeah, like I say, like, you know, I think I got up to like final mix 83.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair though, if you've got nothing else to do, why not? And it's your own music, you can go crazy on it, can't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, you know, like all, because I do like music videos and like graphic design. Like that's what I do for a living. Yeah. The kind of like principle is like all the same. It's just like tweaking stuff until you're happy with it. So I just like approached it with that mindset, and yeah, it came out all right. And I do have to give like a lot of credit to oh shit, it's gonna sound real bad. His name has just completely gone from my head. I was not watching. Yeah, the guy who mastered it, like he really like he polished the turd. I think.
Yeah, hang on. That's not going on the back, is it?
Can we edit this and go back and just like cut me in?
It's not even going to be on there, is it? If it is, I can't write it. Recorded and mixed at Abbey Dungeon. Mastered by John Bart, Band of All.
Oh yeah, JB, that's it.
I can't pronounce the studio. It's Dutch.
Heather Tower or Hoover Tower, something like that. Yeah.
So what made you pick him to master it then? Was that because you know him, or?
No. So basically, that was basically just down to Redefine Darkness's like suggestion, because at that point we didn't have anyone to do it. I said like I wanted Arthur Rizk to do it, and then Thomas, he just said, well, let's like try this guy out. And I spoke to him, and again, like at that point, I had no money. There's no money like circulating in the band, so it's just sort of like a negotiation of like, well, like, can we trade some work? Like, I'll do some work for you, and sort of
Really?
do it that way.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
a new way of doing things.
yeah, and you know, like it benefits him as well because I'm going to do some like filming and editing for his band, maybe his studio as well. So it worked out really nice. It's like a cool way of doing it, like, you know, the medieval way, trading a goat.
Well, yeah, but that's awesome. I'd love to be able
Mm.
to do that. I spent so much money on mixing and mastering as
Yeah.
a band, and especially when you're not mixing it yourself, you have to send back take after take. Because you go, oh, edit this bit, and they'll go, okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not understand what you're talking about because it's
yeah,
not their music.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that, like, I imagine that's probably why we could like kick this out like so quickly, because it was sort of very in house, and then
Yeah.
he just did that. But at the same time, like, I mean, as well, I got to give credit to him with like helping with the mixing, because I was sort of like asking his advice like all along the way. And as well, my mate Kier, who's credited on the sleeve there,
Yeah.
who's like an old friend of mine. He's like a producer in Canada, who they both like really helped me out along the way. So yeah, I can't take all the credit for like being like, oh, I just learned everything myself.
That's awesome,
Mm.
man. Sorry, Shane. Can you see the comments on this video?
Oh yeah, I just noticed that. I didn't see that before. I thought they were ads.
Just... No. I'm trying to pop them up because people are giving you loads of love. I'm trying to show
shit.
you.
Oh, fuck. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get there. So this is all new to me as well. So.
Okay, cool. Well, you smashed it, man.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing how you mixed it yourself. I mean, I didn't expect you to say that and record it. I mean, I kind of gathered you might have recorded it from home because obviously studios being closed, that kind of thing. I kind of preempted that being like that.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I mean, the band is on a massive success run. Like,
yeah.
Especially for a UK band. I mean, I've been doing it for a while now, and you see different bands, but you've cracked America almost. It feels like. What kind of coverage you're getting? Is that just purely through Redefining Darkness, or is it because you kind of know some people you can hit up?
I think it's down to Redefining Darkness. I mean, Thomas is so like hooked up. Oh, what happened there? Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just got a rumble. I thought my mic had just like blown up or something. Yeah, I got to hand that to Thomas just because he's so hooked up over there. He's got like good relationship with like press and stuff. I think anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the same time, saying that, like, it's felt really natural. Like, it's been, you know, actually like interacting with people, like making like what feels like genuine friends, and like just chatting to people. Because I feel like a lot of bands, like, they almost like cut themselves off and like they post something and then just like don't speak to anyone. But you know, anytime anyone like shares us or like comments on a post or something, like I'll always say hello, like, and that's part of like the beauty of it. So I think like part of it's probably down to that, like just being like real, because you know, like if I left a comment on some band's page or messaged them about something, like I'd be fucking stoked if they like replied to me. So like, why not do it the other way around?
Yeah. Do you get a lot of that then now? Since you get like a lot of comments, a lot of personal messages, or is it just people just share? I mean, I see your band name mentioned a lot on Instagram, especially with the American side of things, and it's awesome. But it's also it's weird because you see like the EP on tape that I didn't even know existed until a couple of weeks ago.
Right, yeah.
And I've got my copy on its way now.
Oh, have you?
But, yeah. I spoke to you're probably watching this actually. I think his name's Paolo or something from Brutal K Productions.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he put the
CD version. Yeah. So he said he'll sort me out. I was like, awesome.
Ah, fucking legend.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I see it all the time. Is it just because you're very active on Instagram? Because I know that seems to be the way forward now for a lot of the underground death metal bands, is to do the social media thing.
Yeah, it probably is. Probably, yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, we get like inundated or like hundreds of messages, but it's just like, you know, a good amount of people that like are getting in touch, like, you know, enough people to like maintain like good conversation and like remember who I've like been speaking to and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's definitely the way forward. Like, why not? You know, like, you know, it's cool to speak to people. It's nice to make friends.
That's how I do it. You have to do it, because if you don't do it, you just.
I guess It must be the same
Depends
for
on, I
you.
suppose it's, well, it is, but it also it depends on the image of the band. Because if you're like a really mysterious black metal band,
Mm.
I guess it works, but also it doesn't work because when you go on stage and everyone knows who you are anyway, you've got
Oh
this
yeah,
whole get up on. It
yeah,
kind of takes away from that, maybe.
yeah. I get like the Infernal Sea. Like I can't imagine they'd like want to be like real friendly, like happy, nice guys,
Well,
like in
you
the
say that, but
DMs.
I remember when they first started out and they didn't have all that gear, so it's kind
Oh
of weird. Like
really?
I see, well, yeah, when they first started out, they played with us in Lowestoft,
Fucking low
and
stuff. What the Sea
yeah,
Breeze?
yeah, you know it, yeah.
Yeah,
They're really shit stage, the kind of bows like that in the middle.
yeah,
Yeah. They played there with us, and I remember them being, I think there's 6 of them, and you could probably cast them as black and death metal back then.
yeah. That's right.
And it's
Yeah,
just so weird how they've changed their style over the years.
yeah,
But they've also got a very loyal following as well.
yeah.
So,
Definitely.
but I do think it's more of a death metal thing. You have to be interacting with your fan base more and
Yeah,
more and more.
yeah, definitely. Because I think as well, like it's just taking like a lot of like keys from like punk rock, which is also like how I came up. Like in my local town, it was like very much like hardcore, like punk sort of thing.
Yeah,
So it's all like very DIY. It was sort of like everyone spoke to everyone, and I think like, and that's how death metal started out. Like back in the day, it's like, you know, it was punk kids sort of like playing metal, really, wasn't it? Um, so like, I think there's kind of like a bit of a return to that, where it's sort of like that DIY, like just being fucking real.
yeah. Thing is, that's the thing. I radiate more with bands that I can generally interact with and see as genuine people
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you get
same.
so much, you get more out of it.
Yeah, hundred
Because the
percent.
music's honest. So that's really cool. You're getting
Yeah.
some lovely comments here. I'll put this one on here. Can you see that?
Oh, oh yeah, nice. Cheers, Mark.
And this is a good one as well. Disney are a fucking awesome band.
Someone said that before, but I don't think I've listened to him
I,
before.
I wouldn't say you've never listened to Disma. Wow,
No.
I saw that
Is
one
that
out.
bad? Have I like shown my poser
Well,
card?
maybe. Just turn the cap the wrong way around.
Yeah. Oh shit. I'll be fucking like two-stepping out of here.
That's fine. You're fine. So yeah, I have to say the Slay at Home thing that was really really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you.
That
That
was
was so
really
much fun
cool.
to do.
So was that again through the label sorting it out for you, or did you kind of get inroads with that one through the band?
No, that was I think Brian. Is his name Brian? The guy who runs it. He got in touch with Church
Oh,
Road, and
the drummer dude.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know of him. Yeah.
He got in touch with Church Road and asked if we wanted to do it. But I think they have a good relationship with him.
Yeah.
They've Employed to Serve have been on there a few times. Like Justine's done some of the like collaboration sets and stuff as well. So whether he had just like kept an eye on their label and who they were putting out, and it came about that way, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I was like, when Sammy sent me the email, like, "Are you guys up for this?" I was a bit like, "What the fuck?" Like, well, yeah, but like, how did that come about?
A lot of cool talent on that as well.
You what? Sorry.
The talent on that stream. I mean, all the big death metal bands is insane.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? I watched that.
Yeah.
I watched the Damn set the other day, and I'd never really gotten into Damn before. I don't know why. It's just like, you know, like how some bands they just don't click with you like instantly,
Yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
so much stuff that you just sort of like, I'll move on to the next thing. So that came up, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch it. And I was like, fucking hell, it's just these are sick.
Yeah. Damn it. They're the London band.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I played with them. Yeah.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
long ago actually. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Of all places. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Because he also was in Akakok for a little while. I think the front man.
Yeah, probably. I think they've had a bit of a revolving.
They're very
door,
similar as well, to be fair, in style. If you actually
Yeah.
listen to Akakok and listen to them, they are very, very similar.
Mm. Yeah, they have like a bit of sort of like more that thrash sound in there, bit.
They do. They're
stuff,
well
don't they?
intense.
Yeah. Yeah, really intense. That's a good way of putting it.
So yeah, so Slay at Home Fest. I mean, if anyone doesn't know what that is, that was through Metal Injection,
That's right. Yeah.
and you can go on YouTube and watch that. That is awesome. Really, really cool. So did you do all the editing yourself? Now you've told me you do all that. Is that how you did it all?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if I'm like revealing the curtain here for you all, but like, yeah. So James like recorded to a click. He did all his bits, and then like he sent us his like drum takes, and then we just had to record and play at the same time, which was pretty daunting, especially like at that point. I'd never actually like played and sung as well. So you probably noticed that I'm like singing
Oh, you've never
separately.
done it? Okay.
I have now. I've learned now
Yeah.
because we did another set the other week, like a proper like live performance thing. So I had to learn for that. So it was kind of like pretty stressful to like do it in such a short sort of space of time. But yeah, at that point I hadn't. But yeah, like recording and playing the song all through in one go, like for the first time, was like pretty daunting because obviously in the studio, as I'm sure you know, is very different to just recording it all in one go. Unless you guys play
Well,
like a
I prefer recording it live. I've done both now. I must admit, doing it live is stressful, but you get a different energy when you record it.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer to record live. Definitely, it's way better in it.
It's just so much more relaxing because you
Yeah.
kind of vibe off the drummer a lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas when you do it on your own, you have to kind of make sure you're in time the whole time.
Yeah.
You can't kind of go out of time and go back in. It's really noticeable.
Although when we did ours, I kind of didn't want to be like that regimented. I mean, when we did our album, I mean, like I didn't want it to sound like it was so like quantized and.
It doesn't sound like that. No, it doesn't. No. It's got a real natural sound to it. That's why I'm really surprised you did it all at home.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that at all.
Oh, cheers, man. Thank you.
It sounds really good. It'd be interesting to see how you would do it in the studio, if it would sound different, if it lose that kind of energy that it has.
Oh, what if we were to do it like as a live thing? Yeah. I mean, because I'm still waiting to hear this other live session we did, which was a live thing. I'm waiting to hear what that sounds like. But yeah, I mean,
is that the one in Leeds? Is that the one in Leeds you've done? Yeah, Boomtown thing. Yeah, I saw that.
That's right.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that we recorded. It's supposed to be like a 20-minute set, and I think James had drank a lot of coffee before, and the set ended up being 15 minutes long.
Oh, the old blast going in there.
Yeah, honestly, we play it so fast, like because we got to hear like a little bit back just because we wanted to like check it before we left, sort of thing. I was like, fucking hell, like you know that Metallica like Seattle '89.
It's just loads faster.
Yeah. It's like because I always used to watch that and be like, how the fuck they do that? But like at the time when we were doing it, I didn't notice. It was only when we played it back, I was like, oh, it must be the adrenaline or something. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, it's like when you see Slayer live or when you saw Slayer live, they're always way faster than on the album.
Yeah, it sounds so much better.
So much better. Yeah, definitely.
Because I prefer that Decade of Aggression to like any of their studio albums.
I love that CD. I have that CD. It's
so
all I ever play. If I listen to Slayer, look, he's online now. Look at that. The dude from Portugal. Legends.
Oh, right, Paolo.
What a man.
Yeah, Paolo's a legend.
He is a legend. He sorted me out a treat. So Max Cavalera as well, recommending Celestial Sanctuary on his playlists. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Oh mate, like that is something that like even the labels they don't know how the fuck
they got
that
nothing
happened.
to do with it.
Yeah. Like so yeah, like just I don't know if you saw like from his Max Trax thing that he does.
Yeah. I do watch them. They are funny.
Yeah, so that's where we got our first shout out, and it was Daz. I think's watching now. He messaged me. He's like, "Did you know Max shouted you out on his stream?" I was like, "What?" And he sent me the link, and I was just like, that whole night, I couldn't sleep. I was like fucking buzzing. Like I was just like laying there thinking, Max Cavalera's heard my fucking band. What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean,
and he likes it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it's just I went on that Cameo just to get him to do like the gig announcement for us because I thought like, oh well, we're in there, like you know, give him a few quid. So he did that for us, and then like a couple of weeks later, I saw this playlist thing. It's only through Spotify Artists. Like no one told us about it. Like it just come up on Spotify Artists, like Max Cavalera like Slay List or something. I was like, what the fuck's that? Is it just someone like who thinks, oh, this is what Max Cavalera would like? But yeah, went on there, saw it as Metal Hammer. I was like, oh my god, like what the hell is going on? Couldn't believe it.
So is that then printed in the magazine, him recommending your band in that list?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Like stupid. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like again, like it's one of them things that like dreams are made of. It's like, you know, I was like, well, it's being pressed onto vinyl, like that's enough for me. And it just seems to be like, oh, now this, all right, that's enough for me. We can call it quits now.
Better and better.
Yeah.
So I noticed you dudes have got like a booking agent now in America as well as the UK. Is that so? Your plan is to go abroad when it all goes back to normal?
Yeah, exactly. Again, that is kind of I'm just going to sound like I've won the lottery or something. So James and Josh, who run State of Mind, they also run a management company. But yeah, they've got like 200 stab wounds, frozen soul, sanguisugabog, and basically, as the story goes, like James was at this point in time because Eddie, our UK booking agent, he said, "I'll just fling James an email, see if he fancies like sorting you out in the States." And yeah, like it just happened that week he was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to be taking on like more death metal bands, like going in that direction." So that week he had signed 200 stab wounds. I think he had signed like Frozen Soul like the week before, and then he was like, "Yeah, let's like get you on board. Like let's see what we can get you," sort of thing. So yeah, the plan is when we've sort of like played over here a bit more, when things are more sort of like steady, we'll get over there and do some shows, hopefully with that lot, because that'd be fucking killer. I mean,
That'd be amazing.
yeah, really good.
So, I mean, for my band, I know trying to get gigs abroad is really difficult. Is that so? Because you guys aren't technically local to each other as in a band, week in, week out. Do you have to? I mean, that's going to be quite hard to organise, I'd imagine. Is it going to be one big tour or just one-off festival appearances? Are you thinking of?
Whatever we can get, really. I mean, like as far as going over to the States, like it'll probably just have to be like one coast at a time, maybe. I don't know, like it'd be good to do like the East Coast and then focus on the West Coast. Who's this? Daz. Yeah, right, Daz. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so we probably have to do like one thing at a time. And then as far as like Euro festivals, I mean, I know from playing them in the past, filming them in the past, like they look after you pretty well, don't they? Like they'll get you there and get you back, and you don't have to worry too much about the logistics, so to speak. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Like I'll come to Florida definitely. 100%. Book us now. We play Disneyland.
Yeah, man. Jam with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. So have you guys managed to like play abroad much then?
We've only done it once. Just before COVID in 2019, we played Portugal.
Oh, sick! I bet that was well good.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was the best experience of my life, gig-wise anyway. Not making all that shit if the wife watches that. But it was amazing. I mean, have you played abroad as well?
Yeah.
I mean, like you say, they looked after us. We had a guy who was I think he's a front man for Corpus Christi, which is like a big black metal band.
Yeah.
He was our stage manager, and we got beer, food, and it was December, so it was warm in Portugal, so that was really weird.
Yeah.
And we played to, I think it was like 2,000 odd people, and
it was bloody hell,
fucking insane. And then I got to meet Alcest, because they were the headliner.
Amazing.
They like dies, so yeah. Absolutely love it. I'd love to do it again, but just trying to get on them festivals because there's so many bands.
I know
that are biting at it to try and get booked. So, for you guys, I can see it being a bit easier because you've got that kind of wave of success, and you have the fan base. But when you take like 2 years out recording, say, it's just impossible to get a festival appearance.
Yeah,
unless you have that name.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's just being right place, right time, isn't it? Like, I guess if you release that album at the time when they're like looking at booking the bands and stuff, then because they're on your mind. Like, what's that? I've got to stop looking at these comments. my train of thought. Thank you. Nice one, Dante. But yeah, I know what you mean. It is a challenge. Like, I know from before, it's sort of like even festivals that we played in my old band, it's like we'd hit them up the next year and be like, "Can we play again?" And they'd be like, "No."
Yeah, and I'm getting that vibe now because we've applied for it again, and it's been very quiet. So I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
It will come again, though. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So gear-wise, I have to ask guitars because you are a guitarist like me. I noticed you play a Jackson Flying V.
That's correct. Yeah.
Is that what the album was wrote on? Was it wrote on the Rhodes, or did you use something more robust?
No, it was that and my Dinky. I hate saying that it's called a Dinky.
Stupid. No, I've got a 7-string one, and it sounds so gay when you say it like that.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? It's a Dinky. My DK. We'll call it that.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's that, and the Dinky and the Randy.
Awful names.
Yeah. But yeah, like I love him. Like I'm sure you know, like Jackson just fucking so good. Like can't be imitated. Like it's banging. Really nice.
Did you not
guitars.
feel that you had to play BC Rich? Because I noticed a lot of death metal bands are using BC Riches now. A lot of BC Riches.
Yeah, I was so tempted, but I'm always like, nah, fuck the trend. Like I don't want to take part in that. But I say that like I'd fucking love one of them Ironbirds that they're all playing
I
over
would.
there.
I mean,
Yeah.
my guitar Sandy, he has three. He has a Warlock, an Ironbird. I forget the other one, but they always look so cool.
Yeah.
But also really impractical.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where'd you get a case for that?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't have trouble with my Rhodes, like because I thought that the Jackson case wouldn't fit it. I was like, I bought it on a gamble, and it turned up. I was like, yeah, fucking, it will fit. Like forcing it in, like probably broke the foam inside, but who knows? But yeah, no, I do. I would like. I don't think the only BC Rich I've ever played was like a Bronze Series Warlock, and that was probably like 20 years ago, and it played like
they got that spike that kind of sits into your gut. If you're trying to sit down and play on it, it's just I don't know how anyone can record with something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, Andy, my other guitarist, he proved me wrong because he did a lot of his solos with his.
Oh, did he?
But I mean, his strings were like spaghetti. Though I couldn't get on with it. But it's just those spikes that kind of sit in your waistline. It's just like how you play with that.
Can't be.
Because I'm like you, I prefer flying V's. Like if I could have a V, it's so light you can throw it around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just where it sits. Like if you're anything like me and you've had too many beers before playing and you're feeling a little bit bloated, they're still comfy. Whereas like some other ones, they push out. Yeah, exactly.
So are you a big drinker before going on stage? Because I've done it and I've regretted it. Is that your thing? Is it? Loosen up a bit?
I kind of was before, but I'd learned that I don't know. Like I don't know why, because I never enjoyed it. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's not like I ever got nervous. I don't know if it's like a habit thing, like, you know, I don't know, but yeah, now like I don't drink before playing, just because.
No, I'm the same. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, you never feel good after it, do you? Like,
well, if you're on the stage as well and you kind of walk to the edge, you get not stage fright, but you feel like you're really high up and you actually are. And because I'm using a big pedal board like wire pedals and stuff, I'm terrified if I fucking miss, I'm gonna piss over.
Yeah. And have you ever tried untangling leads when you're pissed as well?
Yeah. Nice. I've also done it where I've gone to step on my distortion pedal and I've took the jack lead clean out of the guitar. And you go dead silent because you're kind of a few beers and you don't actually notice it because you're full of adrenaline.
Yeah, exactly.
Such terrible gigs.
Yeah. And as well, because like I don't know if you like work up a sweat when you play. Like I don't know, like I can not even move and I'll still fucking sweat loads just because I perspire a lot.
With consecration, we have to wear like waistcoats and shirts. So
do you? Oh god, I bet it's so hot.
Yeah, it's rank.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're wearing a towel at the end of it.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, you wouldn't like have a few beers and then go exercise because you'd feel like horrible afterwards, wouldn't you? So like,
that's very true. That's very true. If you look at it that way,
playing's the same.
Yeah, especially with your kind of style of music as well, where it's well intense. And I guess when you do the live show, you have to put all that energy into the playing as well.
Yeah.
Because so as a band, then you've not done any live shows in front of a crowd yet. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
Fucking hell. So the September gig is going to be the very first one.
We're playing Upsurge like a few days before, which we're kind of seeing as like a bit of a warm up. I mean, I say that it's a good show to be on. But yeah, we're seeing that as sort of like a warm up. But the thing is like we've all been playing in bands for years. Like, you know, it's sort of like it's all muscle memory, if you know what I mean.
Oh, Ken's involved with that. If you want the wife cut, mate, you can get involved, mate. The wife cut is powerful.
I feel a bit starstruck seeing Ken pop up there.
I know, the Don of death metal. Don Escobedo.
Death metal daddy, yeah.
Yeah, man. So, also, you obviously collect records.
I do, yeah.
You're quite active on Instagram with your own little Instagram page for your record collection. So when did you start doing that? Is that a recent thing, or...?
No, I think I probably started in about 2014. So I mean, relatively late compared to like a lot of people. But yeah, 2014. Because for years before, like me and my miss have been together just over 10 years. And before that, like anytime we ever went anywhere, any car boot, anything, like I'd always flick through the records, and she'd be like, "Why are you doing that? Like you haven't even got a record player." I was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I do want one," but I just always flick through them. I always have done. And then one Christmas, she bought me a record player, and then yeah, it's been empty in my bank account ever since.
Join the club, mate.
Yeah.
So
It,
what's your go-to style? Is it anything, or do you kind of focus on one genre when you're buying your records?
mainly death metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's probably why, or why I've sort of like got so heavily into it over the last few years. And it's not necessarily because like I know now like a lot of it seems like the death metal labels are the ones that are really like they get all like the cool shit. And they
Yeah,
seem to
yeah.
like they've been pushing that for years before anyone else really was. But it wasn't really anything to do with that. I'd always like just have the black ones. Like I was just happy to have them, so sort of thing. Um, but yeah, just that's just something like I naturally like fell into, just like starting with death metal records. I think the first record I bought myself was like a first pressing of And Justice for All.
Oh, that's my favorite Metallica album.
That's so good, isn't it?
I love it to death.
Yeah.
It's the best album because also it doesn't have bass players involved, so you can basically tell your bass player don't need you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. How about you? How long have you been collecting?
Not that long actually. I got
No.
my first record back in 2014
Hmm.
at Bloodstock Festival of all places.
Oh, was it?
I
God, I bet that
I
was a
got
nightmare carrying that around all weekend.
Yeah, it was because I had this obsession because they had a metal market.
Yeah.
If you've been to Bloodstock and you got that metal market, and there was a
Yeah.
Dutch guy and he had all these really rare CDs. And at
Mm.
that time, I stopped collecting for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And then Blood Red Throne played, and I'd never heard of them before.
Ah, right.
And I was convinced they were a black metal band.
Yeah.
So I watched them, got my head absolutely ripped to pieces, body flown all over the place, and I fucking loved it. So I had to have something of theirs.
Yeah.
And all they had was the self-titled box set.
Ah,
So
right.
I bought that. I didn't have a record player or anything like that. I was like, I have
As
to have
if.
it. Yeah. And then because being a big My Dying Bride fan, I then picked up a load of their records. And then only last year I actually started taking it seriously.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because I've moved about so much, and now me and the missus have got this. Well, you can't tell, but it's a big house we live in, and I have my own man cave.
Oh, sick.
And I thought, I can start collecting again now, much
Oh,
to her
nice.
delight.
Yeah.
So, I've got into tapes now all of a sudden because there's just so much good underground music,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I have to have it. I
Yeah.
can't just stream it. I have to have it.
Yeah. I know
And
the
like,
feeling, man.
it's so annoying though because you think, how did I get by for so many years, and now I can't do it. I can't stream as much as I used to. I
No.
have to have it.
Yeah. But I think it's like I always think like, is it like a return to like wanting that buzz when you were like younger, of like
Exactly. Well, I say I used to buy CDs when I was like 7 years old
yeah,
because
same.
you had to,
Yeah.
and I stopped doing it for so many years. But like, yeah, you have to have it.
Yeah.
I
100%.
mean, I don't know, like you, like having your record. Like I heard it on Spotify, and I was like, oh, I have to have it now because it's that good.
Good.
It's a
It's
UK band, so I feel like I have to have it.
yeah. You look at it, it's like, oh, the shipping isn't even that bad. Like sick.
Yeah, that's it. That's the main seller for me. I was like, fuck yeah, £4 postage, I'm all in.
Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. I've just started collecting CDs again, like after years of not, and like I'm getting that same buzz that I got when like I'd have like a summer job. I'd go into Cambridge and like just fucking spank all my money on CDs, like, and then I come home and mum'd be like, "That's for fucking driving lessons." I was like, "Yeah, but I've got all these cool CDs."
You see, I could top that. I had to go into the city and buy my mum a birthday present, and I spent the money on Rain in Blood. Completely forgot about buying her a card or a present. Got home, I was like, "Look what I got!" And absolute hiding for it. It's hilarious.
Oh man,
Yeah, that's
you
so
wouldn't be
cool.
where
So,
you were without it, though.
well, it's true, and
Yeah.
like CDs, like I've just started buying them again now. Where I was dead against it like 2 years ago. I wouldn't have bothered.
Yeah,
But again, it's just one of the things I have to have it. It's like
yeah,
a need to have that band and
exactly.
support the band as well. Because being in a band, you feel like you're a bit of a hypocrite if you don't buy
100%.
music.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I know people in bands that like that don't do it, and I think like, why? Like, you
Oh, I
can't
know
like,
too many. I know so
yeah,
many.
you can't tell people to buy your record and then you're not fucking buying anyone
Yeah.
else's. Like, that's a fucking dick move. Like, just fucking spend some money on some band. I
But
know,
the
like,
way around that though is if you're in a band with other people that do that, you can just say, "Oh yeah, but the other guys do it."
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just let them spend the money. Yeah, but yeah, at the same time, I know not everyone can, not everyone has disposable income, but at the same time, when your band members are fucking spanking like loads of money on beers, can't help but have a go.
Ken has asked a question. What are some of the band's UK metal influences?
Bolt Thrower, Napalm Death. I would say Benediction, but I mean, like, I've never, apart from, is it Beyond the Rubicon? Is that what it's called?
Transcend the Rubicon.
Transcend the Rubicon. Like, I like that album, but I don't think they've really had like that much of an influence on me. But yeah, I'd say like Bolt Thrower, Carcass, obviously Carcass. Like Carcass are one of my favorite bands of all
It's
time.
such a good live band as well. Like,
Yeah.
Amazing live band.
But yeah, that's like, if I'm being totally honest, like, it's just them three. Like, they're my favorites. Yeah, simple as
That's
that.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
So, what else have I got to ask you? I'll make sure. So, yeah, that's the point. In your collection, do you have any grails that you wish to show?
Oh, mate. Oh,
If you can get to them, those.
yeah, they're all upstairs.
Don't worry about them.
I would show you my Photoshop it in. There you go. Yeah, that Metallica one, which is like a fucking really good find. What else have I got? I've got like a municipal waste tape that I got like fucking years ago, before like they were even like that big. Like, they played over here. I think it must have been like, it was before the Art of Partying, and I think it might have even been on the cycle of Hazardous Mutation. Is that the one before the Art of Partying? Yeah, I got a tape like back then, which is like, like, I'll never get rid of that, and like my Black Album tape from back in the day as well. But no, like, I've got like a lot of records that I love, that I keep like separate, but probably nothing that anyone else would be like, oh wow. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never spent like a silly amount of money on something. It's always been something I've like picked up, like found, and been like, fuck, like, especially with that And Justice for All one, because that was before, like I say, like, it must have been 2014 when I picked that up, and that was before like it all like started kicking back off, if you know what I mean. Like, where you could go into a charity shop and they hadn't fucking looked the price up on Discogs and just inflated it to the top
that
one.
ruins all the fun now. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know, it's the worst. But yeah, gone are them days. But no, like, that's probably it. I mean, like, I've got quite a few, not as much as you by the looks of it. I think I've got like probably like 100 records or so.
This is all within a year, so
fuck.
I know. That's lockdown for you.
Yeah, that's good though, man. It's real nice to see. And
well, the thing is, like, for me, I streamed music, and I had them on MP3 for years. Like, if you remember the iPod Classic, which was like that big.
Yeah.
You could get like 100 or 250 gigs worth of bands on there. Like, I had everything on there that you could think of doom, death metal, black metal. Well, not much black metal, but more the old school doom and death metal.
Yeah.
And I feel like now I'm older, I have to own it. Like, I can't just say I listen to it. I have to prove to people that I have it.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling. Like, I feel like, like, as far as spending money goes, like, there are a few things that, like, I think bring you like genuine joy. Like, I think records and CDs and tapes are probably like a thing that like a lot of people get like genuine joy out of. Like, even if you never play it, just having it gives you something that, I guess some people get it with like buying action figures or whatever. But yeah, I mean, something like a record or a CD just isn't like disposable, I suppose. It's not landfill fodder, is it? Like,
I did my will the other day. My kids are getting my records if they like it or not.
Are they?
They're getting That's just like, they're worth something to someone, and hopefully as I bring them up, they'll appreciate it.
Yeah,
and I can pass that music on to them.
I think they will, man, because you always see them stories about like, I'm citing like celebrities here. It's like, or like musicians that we listen to. Like, they'll always say like, oh, my mum and dad's like record collection, and there's like a physical thing. So it's like, it's nice that your kids like get to have that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because a lot of kids won't now anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Lame as that sounds, but yeah, I think Ken asked you a question.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Where'd you put
Can't ignore Ken.
What? My band.
I believe so. Yeah.
Where do you put? I don't know. Like, it's kind of I guess like using that term like new wave of British death metal, I guess it's kind of like a separate thing with like everything else that has been going on. Not out of like wanting to be separate, but I don't know. It's just sort of like with all the other bands like Mortuary Spawn, Vacuous, like Coffin Mulch. I think we have like a bit of a different sort of like outlook on it than the bands that have been going for a long while. And I don't know what it is. I think it's like a certain energy or it's a certain like outlook. But I'd say like it's kind of like nice that we've got this like little community that like we all chat and stuff, and it's cool to have like that little scene, which I'm sure like there's already like a big existing scene like within death metal within the UK. But yeah, like I don't know if that answers the question.
I think you're right because all you guys kind of started out at the same time.
Yeah,
I think it's just because how do you say it, Vacuous? I keep getting it wrong.
Vacuous.
Vacuous.
Yeah.
He messaged me and I'm so sorry, guys.
I did the same. It was so long because I'd only ever seen it written down and never said. So I was like, vacuous?
Yeah, I said to me, French. What's the deal with that? I don't know. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, especially with like those bands from like 2019 onwards, you've all been in exactly the same situation with the lockdowns. You've all got that in common.
Yeah.
And it's all fresh, all new. You haven't gigged yet.
Yeah.
Or you might have done, but under a different name, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Mortuary Spawn, I think they played one. And Coffin Mulch, I get the impression they've been going for a bit longer.
Is it Gaz, the guitar? I speak to Gaz a fair bit. He was talking to me about it, and they have gigged before because he said about gigging with him in the future. I was like, I'm up for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long they've been going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like that's the thing is, it must be like pretty recent, mustn't it?
Well, I'd have thought so. Because I've been going 10 years in the scene, and I don't recall that name. Because like Scotland for me is always Scolatora.
Yeah.
That's obviously. I mean, they were amazing band, Scolatora, and I've seen them. I've played with them live as well, and they're just so intense. And like Deeper Funders, if you know them.
Say that again. Sorry.
Deeper Funders.
I don't think I've heard them. No.
They've been around a while. They're really good.
Yeah.
But they're one of those bands that like, musicianship is just insane.
Yeah.
There's those like Live Burial in Newcastle.
Yeah, they're sick. Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
I played with them. They were in a band called Rat Face Bastard, and they've been going for years.
Yeah, I think I've heard of them as well.
They're a grindcore band.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking mental. But yeah, like, I think that's what it is. Everyone is in the same boat where you've all started out fresh.
Yeah.
You're in the scene at the right time as well, because death metal was, to me, really, really popular at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's just on this like ever sort of like escalating trajectory. Like 100%.
Do you find them with like bands that are starting to sound the same? Because I think Celestial Sanctuary, that's what stood out to me, is you guys are very different because of the vocal style. Because the riffing is very obviously Bolt Pro-esque, with a lot of groove in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then the vocals are quite shouty. They're not guttural. They're more like to me a hardcore style.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you kind of separated yourselves from like say like Mortuary Spawn and Sewer Fiend, for example? Brilliant bands, but they do have a very murky, death doomy sound that is very similar.
Yeah.
So was it a conscious effort when you were writing your music to try and keep it different from other bands of the scene?
I don't think so. I mean, I would probably say that like a lot of bands probably have like the exact I would presume anyway have like a pretty identical sort of like journey when they're writing. I mean, I never set out to be like different, and I think subconsciously I was always like emulating them heroes, so to speak. Like you mentioned, Bolt Thrower, like that it's not conscious. It's just because I've been like I love that band. I think it's just seeped its way in like into my riffing style, and as well at the same time, maybe because like they came up on Black Sabbath, as did I. Like maybe that's where the similarities come from like an even earlier point. Do you know what I mean?
Well, everyone's copied Black Sabbath. There's no denying that.
Yeah,
if
exactly.
anyone plays a power chord, you've ripped off a Sabbath anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
No one can claim they invented the power chord.
No way.
No.
We all play the same fucking scales as well. Like it's just
Yeah, I mean the same for me. I when I do a solo, it's always the same fucking scale. I
Is
can't
it?
be arsed. Yeah, I don't mean to do it. It just happens.
But that's the thing, and I think that's probably it's the same as David Gilmour, isn't it? It's like he always plays the same sort of thing, but it's like it's the feeling. It's not necessarily like the skill or the like
Well, it's just the way
ingenuity.
he uses reverb as well. It's insane.
Mm,
Like,
mm,
I don't hear anyone that can do it like he does it.
mm. Yeah,
It's fucking.
it's beautiful. You get that
It
feeling.
is. It really is. It's one of those ones you can fall asleep to.
Yeah,
And he's playing an electric guitar, but not angrily.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Man.
But yeah, no, I'd say I never set out to be different. Like I said, I think it's just, I think, yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know.
Smart, but here we go. There you go. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like I've seen a lot of people say mention I think I've seen like a couple of reviews where they refer to us as like being like a borderline death doom band. I'm like,
Don't hear it. Don't hear it.
no, neither do I. Like
No.
it's not slow enough for a start.
I think old school death metal is kind of slow anyway.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
I think if you're going death doom, you have to deliberately go for those drawn out passages, which
Yeah.
Celestial Sanctuary I don't think have. You have the odd moment
Yeah.
where you kind of build atmosphere, but you're not that kind of band at all.
No, I always think of death doom being like more melancholy as well.
Yeah,
Like there's definitely like a certain element of sadness to it. And any time I think of ours, I think of it's more like anger than like melancholy. So
what are the lyrical themes on the album then? Because I'll be honest with you, I never read lyrics.
yeah, neither do I.
My front man always goes, "Oh, you should read the lyrics." I couldn't give a fuck, mate. Just all Cookie Monster vocals to me. But,
exactly. It's just there to fill a gap.
well, exactly. But when you were writing it, did you consciously think of certain subjects to use?
Yeah. So really, like initially, like the very first mission statement I had was like, I didn't want anything that was about like glorifying like rape, no like violence against women because that shit sucks. Like it's been done before as well. Like them first like Cannibal Corpse records, like it's been done. No one's ever going to do it better. Just leave it. Like that's in the past now. So I kind of wanted to like make sure that I was like taking a tangent away from that, which I'm sure like hundreds of other bands have done. Like it's nothing original at all. It's just something I felt quite strongly about at the time. But so the album is like it is a concept album lyrically that it's essentially about this soul that gains sentience and realizes that sentience is torture, and they'd rather sink into this like essentially like ignorance is bliss. They'd rather just like have their brain unplugged and fucking like not think at all. Otherwise, it's just endless suffering, and that sounds really dark, but kind of as well, like this image that is like burned into my brain that kind of inspired it. I can't remember which Matrix film it's from, but it's like the one where he's like in that gooey pod and he like pulls the thing out the back of his head.
The third one.
Probably, yeah.
The very last one, we realised it. Yeah.
There's probably not many metal bands like referencing the third Matrix film.
Matrix films.
Matrix Revolutions.
You got to do the fucking dive bit as well on the album.
But yeah, like that it's just that image which I found it was just burned in my brain for a long time, and I thought, oh, that's really fucking like interesting actually. Like obviously I know that that's what the Matrix is about, but to
be fair, that is a different thing. Because do you feel like death metal bands that do the whole abusing women, torturing women? Because like some bands had to be on Instagram the other day, and the video clip is her eyes being pulled out, her intestines being pulled out, and I just don't care. It just doesn't interest me in the slightest.
Yeah,
it's not shocking. It's not different.
Yeah, that's the
thing. I agree with you. It's just pointless now. Like,
yeah.
Do you find that with a lot of slam bands that do that? When they all do that.
Like that. Yeah, it is probably them that I'm like citing directly. It's like
you're not a fan of it then.
No, man, it just makes me cringe. Like it's just
fucking basic as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just all the same. Like, oh yeah, cool. Like pentatonic hammer-ons, brilliant. That's probably the nerdiest thing of it.
I say, well, it's good for like 10 seconds, but when you do the whole song and then the next song and then the next song, I get well bored of that.
Yeah, 100% the same here. Yeah, it's really not me at all. which is why I was kind of like, I saw a review and like someone said like we had like slams. I was like, no,
No, none of
no,
that. There's groove in there, and there's heavy
yeah,
chugging riffs. There's no
yeah,
slam riffs.
no, exactly.
I
Thank
guess that's
you.
coming from someone that might not understand the guitar playing style riffs, because slam riffs are
Yeah,
very predictable.
mm,
You know, and if you've got a pinch harmonic in every fourth note, you know.
yeah, exactly. But I'm sure there is some good slam bands out there. I just hadn't heard them yet.
See, Wendy's correct there. Nothing is shocking in death metal anymore.
No, that's right.
But like you say, you're trying to go down the whole psychological view of it. That's different. I enjoy that kind of thing. Like I know Dan, our vocalist, he does more of the like what happens after you die kind of approach,
Yeah,
and also the emotions that go into that when someone dies in the family,
yeah,
which obviously works well to death doom. But like for death metal, I mean, like you say, if you go for that kind of psychological torture,
yeah.
that's quite cool. Right? That's quite. I have to read it up now. That's
I
quite.
th- I think as well, just like it just makes it feel like more sincere. Like when, like I can imagine going on stage like every night and singing about like pulling someone from the inside out and wearing them like a glove. Like how do you do that like every night and take yourself seriously? Do you know what I mean?
The problem is, I would appreciate it more if they were like terrifying to look at when they get off stage. Go, oh yeah, it's just you know.
Yeah. I
And
know what
there's
you
that
mean.
whole impact of what it was to scare. Like I used to be really scared of Mayhem when I was younger.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Like I see them live on like I can't remember what I'd seen like MTV or stuff like that, and I'd be fucking terrified. And then these guys are, and then you read up on them
Yeah.
and what the band's history. But then now, if I see it now, it's just I don't care. Like,
Ridiculous. Yeah. And the
yeah, it
fact
just
that they,
seems.
you know, that they're just suburban kids from Norway who
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
lived in a really nice town.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
But yeah,
insane.
going back to like the gore thing, obviously I understand like a lot of people are like really into B movies and I see people like compare it to that, but yeah, like it's not for me.
But if you want to be taken seriously as well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
You want
exactly.
your art to be taken seriously.
Yeah, exactly. And how can you you have to take it seriously yourself, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. You
Yeah.
have to have passion. If you don't have passion, there's no fucking point doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Totally
I fully
agree.
agree with that.
Yeah, man. Here's another question for you. From Jeff. Bloody hell, I haven't heard from him in a while, mate. I hope you're well.
Yeah, so basically setup's pretty simple. It's just what do I do? My guitar into a noise suppressor into just a Zach Wild overdrive pedal.
Really?
Yeah,
That's the tone for the
yeah,
6505.
yeah. That's it.
Nice.
That's literally all it is. Like no like weird processors or anything like that. It's just
So
pretty straight.
is that the MXR Zach Wild?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The old one. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did use like the Ibanez one. I thought it was all right, but I was just like, I don't know, like you probably have the same thing like when you're playing, like you have the tone in your head that you want, don't you? And like
Never get it.
every time you go into a practice room or get on stage, like you might get it once or twice and it's like, oh fuck, like I had it. But yeah, when I put that Zach Wild overdrive pedal into my 6505 with that Jackson Randy, I was like, fuck, this is what I had in my head. And like
Yeah.
because it's a 6505 as well, you dial in that like magic setting and it's like
I say there's so many bands that are using them because I always ask certain bands that I really like the tone. Like I kind of figured that was what you're using.
yeah,
You can hear it.
yeah,
There's, I can't pronounce it. Malignant Altar from the
Oh,
United
Malignant
States.
Altar, yeah.
You did it better than me. I asked him and he said, yeah, just use a 6505 with nothing in front of it.
Yeah.
And that's so fucking heavy. It's so scooped and so thick. And it's just like, I need that. But those amps cost silly money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to sound like the luckiest guy alive here because I got that 6505 for 250 quid.
Yeah, bastard. That's ridiculous.
I know. It's so stupid. Like, so Jay, our bassist, he found it on Gumtree for like, I think it was about that amount. But he was in a band with some fucking waster. So he just wanted to like get him a cheap amp, and the cheap amp he got him was a 6505 plus, which he found on Gumtree. And this guy just obviously had no idea what he had. I don't know where did he get that price from? Do you know what I mean?
It's insane. It's an insane price.
Yeah, because Jay's a good lad. He was like, oh, I don't want to like make any money off you. Like, just have it for whatever I paid for it. So yeah, that's how I got that. But I did have like a Marshall DSL 100, which I really like. Like I love that tone. Like because again, like that's to me that's more of like a doomy sort of tone that you get from them amps. Sludge as well. Like and I used to play a lot of that, like jam that to myself.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So I love that amp for that, but I sold it just so I could buy this, just because I knew it was like a reliable thing that whatever cab I was plugging it into was going to sound fucking.
Imagine it weighs a ton though.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. Same problem I have. Yeah. So like, especially if you do death metal shows and stuff like that, when you have to go to Camden City Centre and you have to carry your amp.
Yeah. Why the fuck are venues always up or downstairs as well?
Oh, I hate that. I absolutely hate it because I've got a flight case for mine as well. It weighs an absolute ton.
Jeez, Matt, what have you got?
So I've got a Laney, I think it's a GH100 Ti, the Tony Iommi one, before he upgraded to his newer one, which is okay, but I literally use it as a power amp now.
Oh, really?
I do everything through my Rev. G3, it's the purple one.
What's that?
Heard of that? So it's an amp in a box.
Oh, right.
And it sounds mint. It's a Canadian company, and it is literally like a tube amp in a box.
Yeah. Oh,
and literally, I can stomp on that, and I get the sound of like a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier. It sounds exactly like that. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm looking at now getting rid of the amp altogether and just using one of those orange power amp boxes that sit on the pedal board.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
So you like just a clean tone. Then I don't have to carry the amp. I just have the pedal board, guitar, and that's it.
Yeah, that'd make life so much easier, wouldn't it?
Because now you can get like those orange micro amps, but they look like nothing. But when you plug them in, they sound absolutely massive.
Yeah, that's what Matt, our other guitarist, uses. Is it a tiny Terra? I think they're bigger than the there's micro Terras as well in there.
Yeah.
He uses one, and that was the first time. Like I'd always seen bands using them, and like whenever I did like video shoots for other bands, like a lot of them would have it, but obviously at a video shoot, no one ever turns it on. So I'd always seen them, and never like they'd always be like, "Yeah, they are really loud." I was like, "Yeah, right, all right, whatever." But then he switched it on. I was like, "Fucking hell! Like, yeah, that is loud. Like, what the hell?"
I think this as well. If you're going for a pedal, you don't really need the amp to do the work. You just need it for that power amps.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, if I had a preference, though, I'd do like you do. You know, full on tube amp all the way through. Less pedals, the better.
Yeah, I mean, on my board, I have a chorus and a reverb on there as well, but I never really use them. I don't know why. I mean, it's just because they're on the board. There's no point in taking them off. You know what I mean?
So
but, yeah.
Okay, so have you ever thought about using the digital amp side like Kempers and stuff like that going forward?
Yeah, it crossed my mind a bit because I'd had like some first like again like going back to like a shoot that I did, and this was probably going back about 5 years. So Kempers were like a really new thing then, at least they were to me. And I'd never. I mean, the first band I saw using them live was like the Obituary guitarist.
Okay, yeah.
And that was on the Slayer tour, and that was the first time I'd ever seen it actually used in real life. But yeah, so I was at the shoot like 5 years ago, and this guy had it. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like, and he was explaining it to me, and he was like, "Yeah, you know, if you think about it, like, you get this, you never have to buy any more pedals ever again." I was like, "Or any more amps." I was like, "Yeah, that's a good point." So I was like considering it for a while, but then I thought, realistically, like, how often am I going to sit downstairs, like, playing with different tones, like, you know, maybe like 10 years ago I would have done that, but
once it works, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I've recorded with one of them, and I don't mind it. It sounds really cool, but you have to also make sure you have the right cab for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So people don't realise cabs make such a massive difference to your tone. And if you have the wrong cab, the amp could be the best amp in the world, but still sound shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that is literally like my favorite strength about the 6505 is that with any cab it's pretty good. Like you're always going to get a good tone out of it. But yeah, like I used to play an Engel Powerball years ago, and like with its own cab or with a 6505 cab or with like an orange cab, it sounded fucking like insane, like the perfect amp. Like I used to love that amp. But you get like a shitty little, you know, like them Marshall cabs that are like, I think they're like 4x10s. They're like the mini cabs.
Yeah, I know what you
mean. They've got them up earth, haven't they?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. you plug them into that, and it just sounds like a tinny like screechy mess, and like you
Yeah.
have to like turn it all the way up to like get any sort of like oomph out of it, and then it's like my noise suppressor ain't doing anything at this stage, so it's just pointless. So yeah, I love that amp, but yeah, that's why I got rid of it. But yeah, like going back to what you said, like yeah, I think them campers sound like fucking really good. So do them. Like we played with some. I think they were like they come into the venue and they said that they were like, yeah, we're like a death metal cross with like the gent band, and I was like, oh, these are gonna be good, aren't they? But yeah, and like I was sort of like giving him grief, and then like he plugged his guitar into this like into his Helix thing. I was thinking, oh yeah, here we go. And then he played. I was like, fair dues, like that actually sounds pretty good.
Well, you can definitely go for the PA, can't you, as well at the venue?
Yeah,
but you've got to be
exactly.
careful because if the PA and the venue sounds shit, or the mic goes through the PA, which we've done before, where we had the bass and the vocals go through the PA,
yeah,
you get mad feedback through the vocal mic.
Oh really?
So it ruins the whole show. So yeah, those kind of gadgets work only if you have the kit with you.
Yeah, and if you're in like one of them, because like to be honest, like how many of us actually play like them venues with like a good setup that isn't just a fucking PA and like maybe one vocal monitor on the floor?
Yeah.
Like, you know, 90% of the time we're playing shows that are like that instead of proper setup places with an actual soundboard.
Ken has asked you a really good question, or both of us actually. Do you want to go first?
You go first, man.
Okay, well for me, it's the amount of bands. Like when I was in Consecration, when we started out, there was hardly any death doom bands or death metal bands. There was more the thrash. Like, everyone wanted to sound like Exodus. Everyone wanted to sound like what was it? Would it be like Testament? Like where especially in Norwich, you might remember. It's like there was Shrapnel.
Yeah.
There was well, they're still going. There's a few bands in Ipswich, and they all wanted to sound like Exodus. All their band names were named after chemical attacks or chemical warfare, you know, all that kind of shit. They all played Raining Blood as their end song.
Right, yeah.
And it got really, really tiring. And then all of a sudden now, fast forward say 5 years, like I can, like, I'm doing a YouTube series on it now. There's so much, especially newer bands as well. Like, it's cool to check out the older bands, but the newer ones as well, like the younger dudes. I'm only like 32, but there's like kids in their 20s churning out some superb death metal.
Yeah.
And it's just purely because they're obviously influenced by newer bands.
Yeah.
I don't know about you as well, like especially on the live scene, there's just so much. Because for a little while it was all hardcore, melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
Those kind of bands that go up and down wearing the baseball caps.
Yeah. All the bands that have like some pluralized word as their name.
Yeah, and then you go on stage, you play Doom, and everyone's like boring. It's just like, oh,
yeah,
you can't win because they've just had this certain sound thrown at them for like say 2 hours.
Yeah,
especially on those all-day festivals.
Oh man.
But yeah, like now it's just so much diversity in the death metal scene.
Yeah,
like I say, you guys as well. Like you've got that kind of groove, hardcore vibe to me anyway.
Yeah,
and you've got like Mortuary Spawn and just pure filth.
Yeah,
and then like Live Burial, they've got kind of a thrashier sound. Deeper Fundus, they're more of a technical death metal, so you kind of got that kind of obscure kind of style.
Yeah.
In a London band. And then obviously when there was Valenfire, you had that kind of crusty punk kind of death metal sound. Memoriam, there's fucking hundreds, but yeah.
I think as well, like one of the bigger changes is like the UK is like getting its own identity as well, instead of trying to just sound like American bands, which I feel like the UK always falls into that trap of like they're just trying to be them American bands, but you know, like every other like small like Finland, like they have their own sound, like you know you
can't replicate that.
No, exactly. And if anything, like with a band like Cerebral Rot, they're like, or like there's a load of American bands that kind of go in the other way, trying to emulate that now.
Well, you say Cerebral Rot, I have the new one, and that to me sounds a lot like Undergang. You know that.
Yeah, true.
So it's just like, to me, it's just like, oh, it's good.
Yeah,
but it sounds like another load of Danish death metal bands.
Yeah, no, yeah, I get that. Yeah, definitely. Just with less froggy vocals.
Yeah.
Like slightly less. But yeah, I'd say yeah, like we're sort of like developing our own identity, and I think like with Consecration, like that's obviously as far as like extreme metal goes, like I'd probably say you guys are sort of like this sort of epitome of that with like the death doom sound. Like to me, that's the British sound. So I think we
Yeah,
sort of
well,
like,
the thing is for me, like with my writing, I'm a big My Dying Bride fan, so it's
yeah,
always going to sink in, like melody-wise, like say the melancholic stuff. You have to have it in there,
yeah,
and
definitely.
no matter how different. I mean, I'm a big Morbid Angel fan, so I kind of try and cross the Trey Azaroff wankery
Yeah,
with the My Dying Bride melodic stuff, and kind of try and
yeah,
blend the two. But
yeah,
like, yeah, it's so hard to try and sound different though.
yeah. It is, and that's the thing. I think you've just got to. I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? Like, how do you do it? Do you just like you can't not listen to something at risk of it creeping in because then how do you get inspired? But yeah, how do you mindfully make something different?
It's not easy at all.
No,
So
no,
yeah,
no.
I totally agree with you, Gavin. I don't know. There's so much death metal in the UK, but I think it does get overshadowed by the US, especially.
Mm,
There's a lot, like you say, they copy the US sound. Like a lot of the thrash bands in the UK, the
yeah,
newer ones anyway, they want to sound like Exodus. They want to sound like Metallica,
yeah,
especially down this way. Anyway, I don't know about up north. I always notice when I play gigs up north, they're all like primitive, raw,
yeah.
aggressive guys that just get absolutely fucked up. And they play this really intense music. You're like, that's brilliant. And then when they talk
Yeah.
to you, you haven't got a fucking clue what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, you like fucking what's his name off of Alan Partridge?
Yeah, it is
Michael, is it?
exactly like that. When I played in Newcastle, I had no idea what he was saying to me. And I think I upset some woman because I said to her, "Speak English," because I've got no idea what you're saying to me, and she slapped me.
God.
Yeah, but musically, so intense, it's so good. But yeah, I've got
Yeah.
no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, never had beans in a cup, like.
Let's see, what's this here? So yeah, Mordhau's a good shout, Mark. You ever heard of them?
I haven't. No.
So they're a Nottingham-based band, more of the HM2 stand, so they're pretty much pin-tuned.
Yeah.
To be fair to say, I think Mark would probably agree. They even have the orange cassette.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, so you know,
Yeah.
I think that's just another one of those bands that kind of copying a certain style.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, you've got a guys got a show in September that I'm going to. I have tickets.
Oh yeah, sick. Nice. Can't wait to see
I'm
it.
well excited for that because that is one of those shows in the UK. I mean, I try to go to underground shows when I can. But I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, a lot of the times I like one band. I think the rest are wank.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend, especially London. That's a good 2-hour drive for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Whereas every single band on that bill, well, I have all their releases. Like it's just I have all of them. So how
Yeah.
did that come about? Did you organise that, or was that done for a promoter?
No. So yeah, it's kind of well, no, yeah, it was. So Eddie, who is our booking agent, he puts on all sorts in London, and he was the one who suggested doing this show and doing it as a release show. So I said, yeah, just can I sort of like put the lineup together with bands that I want to see, so to speak. He's like, yeah, like do whatever you want. So yeah, that's how that come about. He's sorting out like the logistics of it with like speaking to like Blackheart and making sure it sort of gets pushed and stuff. I guess I don't know, like how does it work, but yeah. So that it's very much like a collaborative thing. It's just I wanted to put together a show where like I only met fucking Slime Lord like the other day, like when we were in Leeds, and it's so weird because like we've been speaking for so long, like especially to Ryan. Like we've been speaking for years, and it's like I've only just fucking like been able to meet these guys. So it's like it's kind of like a way of like just having all of us in the same room, being able to like just fucking celebrate that we can do this again. And
Well, it's a big thing, isn't it? Because no one's been able to gig for 2 or 3 years.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing it up north as well. There's going to be a northern date announced at some point, like
Well,
the
same
following.
bands as well.
Same bill. It's going to be the day after. I probably shouldn't have said that, but who gives a shit?
If you've got 16 people watching it, I think you're safe.
Yeah.
What's this here?
Some bloke at North's just fucking hossed his Yorkshire pudding across the room like them fucking Southerners.
Oh, he's asking a question to someone else. Is that a good question?
Oh, pub gigs back on track in the UK, is it?
Yeah, they are. They are actually.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones, like especially here for me, I know Ipswich, we might be playing Halloween, so that's pretty cool.
No, where do they have gigs in Ipswich now? Is it still
do you
the Pool
do you
Club?
know Darren? You know Darren. You probably must know Darren.
I think I might.
He's big, tall, long black hair. He's an Eastern Front.
I might have spoken to him.
You've probably seen him. big on the scene. He puts it on at the Portal. He's got a stage there now, like a race stage.
Nice.
So it's not the nicest of venues, I'll be honest with you, but
Yeah. It's
he's a gig.
Ipswich.
Yeah, what can you do? You know.
Yeah. Did you ever play at Zest when they had gigs there?
No, there were only, well, I might have done. There was one where it was upstairs, just across from the bus station, which was like a shoebox,
Oh, okay.
and all the bands apart from us took their shirts off because we were all well body conscious and had to wear the whole black thing. It's just, I mean, I nearly passed out. It was that hot.
Oh, fuck, really?
Yeah, and we played. There was an Irish pub that used to be about. I can't remember what it's called now. McGinty's maybe. That was another one used to play. But yeah, I mean, Darren's been the one that's been kind of streamlining the Ipswich scene. Norwich, I don't know so much anymore.
No, as I know that. Well, like we used to play and go to gigs at the B2 quite a lot, but they like started enforcing some like no moshing rules. So I think it like put a lot of people off like going and like having.
Yeah, I mean,
gigs
it's
there
such a
things.
pain in the ass to get to the B2 as well. It's
Yeah,
such outside the
exactly.
city, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, you are wrong, Ken. No, we're not going into another quarantine. That is, like, as far as I know, that's not happening.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Hopefully not, because that'll fuck everything right. But
Yeah.
no, I think there's a lot of shows being booked now. I mean, I know the UK Death Fest is next year in London now.
Is that Sublime Terror Fest still going ahead? Do you know?
I haven't checked that one out. I don't know. Probably
Have you seen
applied for it.
Have you seen the lineup for it?
No.
Oh, mate, it's unreal. I think there's
Really?
like Fetid, like Undergang are playing it.
Oh, is that one in? There's one in Denmark. Is that in the UK? That one?
That's in the UK, yeah. I think Grave are playing it as well. I think.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at that one then. That sounds like my thing already.
It's at the Tufnell. I think it's at the Dome in Tufnell Park. So it's nice and easy to get to as well.
Yeah, it's on the Northern Line, that one, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, that like the lineup for that looks ridiculous. Better than the Death Fest one, I think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. The Death Fest one's a bit iffy for me. I mean, there's some stellar bands on there, but it kind of peters out towards the bottom of it.
Yeah, it seems like there's like more like black metal and grindcore bands than there are actually like death metal bands. Weirdly.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I didn't. If you think about it, how many UK death metal bands are there that are still gigging?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I mean, like, you've got all you guys are newer bands, but
yeah,
they're not going to put the newer bands on just yet unless there's a reason to. Which obviously Celestial Sanctuary is a big reason to. But you know, like, I noticed Damim are on it.
Yeah.
But then they've been plugging at it for years, so you know, I can see why they're on there. But I couldn't tell you any more current UK death metal bands apart from Memoriam who are on there.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw. Was it? There was a band called Meat Spreader, like announced it.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, it's like they're definitely a grindcore band, and then I think there's another one called like Liquid Shit. It's like, God.
Oh, nice. Definitely a grindcore band.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's going forward for Celestial Sanctuary then? Going forward, then is there anything major in the pipeline, like live DVD or UK World Tour, Metallica, or anything like that? Or...
Yeah, so we've got like Metallica's next tour where they're opening for us.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, we're gonna no, so we're just trying to focus on like actually getting some shows, like earning our place, so to speak, like because we do have a lot of that to do. I know we've had an album come out and we've been pushing it digitally, but realistically, like we need to earn our place like 100% because we haven't done that yet. So it's going to be like doing that, like actually working hard, playing shows. And then, we've got, there's a split that I've just finished writing the song for, which is hopefully,
nice.
Yeah. So that's with like, I mean, I would say, I know there's, it don't really matter that much, but I don't want to piss anyone off. But yeah,
no, you've got to keep it secret.
It's with 3 other fucking like sick bands from like Canada and the US.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I'm buzzing about that. And then what else? Yeah, just moving on to the next thing. Album number 2 after that.
You got material written yet, or is that just still in the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, there's like, you know, I'm sure you're the same. There's like, I've got like 100 demos, which are like a riff that changes slightly, and then
the same.
iPhone memos and that. But yeah, so I think I'll probably try and record that next year, I think. But yeah, just focus on this split and try and go from there. But yeah, I think the next stuff that we do is going to be fucking so much better because with Matt being like properly on board now and he can fucking shred as well. So it's just going
He's
to
an
add like
amazing guitar player.
yeah,
He's a ridiculous.
unreal.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to add like a whole new dimension to the band, which I'm really really excited
So is
about.
he injecting that in live? Then is he adding his own little flair to it on the songs?
Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed on the Slay at Home thing, like when like the guitar solo in Sub Your Sentience, like I'm not like a shredder like by any stretch at all. Like I prefer to write riffs.
Same.
So I just said to him, just do something better, please. So he done something better. So yeah, it's already like seeping in, like as well when we play. Like he adds like these cool harmonies that are like different to just the usual like 4s and 7s. Like he actually like has ideas, and it sort of shows already. So I think when people see us live, it's going to be noticeable. It's going to sound a little bit different to the record, but 100% for the better. It's not like there's going to be wankery like all over the songs, but you know.
No, but I know what you mean. Like Andy in our band, he has certain harmonies you never would have thought of yourself. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it just a whole different spin on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Just breathes like new life into stuff, doesn't it? And adds another personality instead of just essentially.
Gives it more of a band feeling as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's so hard to replicate when you're on your own.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, if you've done it all on your own on that, it sounds a tit. So I have to tip my cap to you there.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Cool. So I have to ask before I forget: the new wave of British death metal. Did you come up with that?
Yeah.
Or was that come through? It was you.
Yeah, it was me.
Genius market employee, that is.
Yeah, cheers, man. I work in graphic design and marketing. No, yeah, I just like I say, like I just not that I wanted to be separate, but I felt like there kind of needed to be like a separate movement, just because I don't know, like I don't know whether it's like my punk roots and then like these other bands that seem to have like gotten caught up in it. Like I know Mortuary Spawn, I know they sound different to us, but like them guys have all played in punk bands. Like Vacuous are kind of like basically like a bunch of punks, and like Slime Lord and Cryptic Shift, like again, they're like from a totally like DIY sort of like punk background. So it's kind of to do with that, and it kind of like mirrored what the new wave of the new wave of British heavy metal was about. That these were like metal bands that were coming from punk, like with that attitude, basically. If that makes sense. I don't know if it does. I'm just chatting shit.
No, it makes perfect sense. I think Ken said it out there, and that shows.
Yeah, 100%.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
because it is quite weird. Because when you go up north and places like that, certain bands have a certain perspective of what their band should sound like and how they sound, and a lot of them don't get on as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been there and seen that where bands just don't talk to each other during shows. And
Yeah.
It's just so weird.
Yeah, it is a weird thing, and that's the thing. Like metal should, like any genre of metal, like it should all be united. Like I'm fucking like every time I've ever played with any other band, like I'm fucking stoked to see the other bands and just like chat and make new friends. I'm not necessarily
such a rare thing, though. You don't see it that often.
No, I know.
I've seen. Yeah, it's just weird. I always watch support bands. Always.
Yeah, same. I mean, if I'm not loading out, I'm like there watching them, and you know, if they're shit, I'll at least give them a try. Do you know what I mean?
And as well, like some bands are just kind of fucking hell, they're awful, and they're on after us.
But at least you've given them a try. That's the thing, isn't it? And
exactly,
we should all be doing that because everyone would be better off for it, and shows would be like a lot more fun. And what's the point in like everyone being fucking hostile towards each other at these shows? Like we're all there for the same fucking thing. Like just fucking make friends.
I found it with more of the older bands because they've got a chip on their shoulder. Because the newer bands are obviously more intense. The crowd's bigger because they're obviously newer. And it's just I noticed that with a lot of the older dudes, they don't like. When I played with, they probably never see this, but Warlord UK. Really cool band, but never said a word to anyone. Went over their set time, and just didn't give a shit. And it's just like, why are you being like that for? And the headline band was Desecration from Wales. I mean, legends, and they only had 20 minutes.
That weren't even the headline band, like fucking running over or acting arrogant.
Yeah. Sound checked for 45 odd minutes. It was just insane. Mate. It's just like, how can you be? And that was when I was quite young as well. And you're kind of watching them as like mentors, and you think I'm going to be like them when I'm older. And it's just like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the point? Mate, them bands that take ages to sound checks, like, really? How much
I,
better is it going to be?
I say I'm happy if my pedals work and my volumes are fine. Just go
Yeah,
with it. I
yeah.
can't care because at the end of
Oh,
the day, the crowd will be the ones that tell me if it's good or not.
yeah, exactly. And half the time, like, they're too fucking obliterated to give a shit anyway. They're just stoked to be there
Yeah,
and just to be hearing
Mark's
louder.
over there. Mark's an old metalhead. He gets it. Angry old metalhead. That's awesome, man. So yeah, has anyone got any questions for Tom? Because I noticed there was a few. I'm trying to keep up on it, but it's hard to talk and read at the same time. So yeah. Ollie should have knocked Wall out. I agree. Totally agree with you. It's a very weird show. It's really, really weird. I've never seen it before where a band sound checks for that long.
Yeah.
Never seen that. I haven't seen it since, luckily.
I saw
Well,
what was that Italian thrash band that recently went shit?
okay.
What were they called? I played with them. We played with them with Jungle Rot. They've recently like come out with like some horrible like metalcore song, like some Eurovision sounding anthem.
Is that one where they dress up really weirdly?
Huh?
They dressed up in weird costumes in their music videos.
Yeah, they've all got like tassels hanging off them and stuff.
I know who you mean.
I'm gonna have
Let's
to
Google
look
it
up.
now.
Having to look them up.
Italian thrash bands. It's not that many, is it?
No. They're like Clockwork Orange themed.
Oh, really? No, I don't know that then. Did you say you played with Jungle Rock before?
Oh, they're called Ultraviolence. That's it.
Oh, yeah, I know that name.
But yeah, like that, they were main support to Jungle Rot, and oh man, they took like 40. I'm probably gonna exaggerate now, but yeah, it was definitely 45 minutes to an hour of setting up because they all had them like in-ear monitors, and it was like, yeah, you've played this song 10 times and it sounded exactly the same every single time. Like, it's not gotten any better. But yeah, they were being right divas. But the theory was proved. They turned out to be fucking shit. They were good, but yeah, now they're fucking trash.
No, I agree. That's the thing. When bands do that, it's just like I totally agree. If you're passionate about your art, you want it to sound the tits when you go on stage.
Yeah,
but you've also got to be really wary of the other bands around you.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
because I've done gigs where we can have a set list if the headliners don't overrun and the headliner spends an hour sound checking. I don't know how you can sound check for an hour.
No, it's weird, isn't it?
Bored out of my mind.
Yeah, like I'd rather not sound check, to be honest with you. Like, I'd rather just check my guitars all right.
I've had the luxury of sound checking, and I go on stage, and the guys fucking change the settings anyway.
Exactly. Yeah.
You've wasted 10 minutes of your life going, I'm really happy, and then you're on stage like, what
this is totally different. I always think, like, what do they do anyway? Do they I'd never see them with like a notepad writing down like, right, he wants.
Well, they can preset it, can't they? They can resave the settings on the board.
Ah, right. Oh, okay.
I've never ever experienced where that worked. Maybe one time that's happened.
Yeah, never works. Yeah, never.
Well, we got a question from Ken. Any new death metal bands worth mentioning in the UK, not just the UK. Oh, well, there's the Drowning from Wales, a really good death metal doom band. They're really nice guys. Some band. Feel free to jump in on this because there's hundreds I could think of.
Yeah. First of all, I keep thinking of Seven Doors, but that's from like Cornwall, isn't it? I always think of that as like another country.
I always think he's up north, but it's not.
Yeah. That's Seven Doors. He's pretty cool because that's like a
Ryan
one-man
Wills.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a really cool dude. Because he's also in 2 black metal bands, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's actually a black metal guitarist. Which was when I brought that tape, I was just like, how good is he as a death metal guitarist? Never knew that.
Yeah.
I can't remember the bands he's in, but he's a black metal dude.
As if. Yeah, because he had that put out on Redefining Darkness, didn't he?
I actually see it right in front of me. Show it off to people.
Yeah,
that's really, really good.
It's like we set that up.
Teed it up for him.
Yeah. But no, I can't think of anyone else apart from Coffin Mulch, who are obviously from Scotland. But yeah, Northern Irish, no. I can't think of anyone.
Well, Northern Ireland is the Crawling. They're really, really cool.
Okay.
They're like a doomy, but more of a blackened kind of doomy vibe to them. Strangle Wire. I don't know if they're Northern Ireland or Ireland. I never remember. But they're really cool. They're quite big in America, by memory anyway.
Right, Sodomized Cadaver. I know Gavin.
I know that name.
It's you know, have you ever played the Griffin in Bristol?
Yes.
Yeah, it would have been Gavin putting you on there, and that's his
I
band.
know Gavin. Yeah. Yes, yeah. He always. I remember we played a Primitive Man.
Oh yeah,
and Bismuth, and the stage we were on, the men's toilets are right next to where I was standing on stage.
Oh really?
So every time I was playing, there'd be a guy come stumbling into me, pissed. I need a piss. I was like, all right. That's an awful gig.
Yeah.
But the gig was great, but just the venue was so shit.
Yeah. Playing gigs is so glamorous, isn't it?
Well, those ones are. You kind of get all your high hopes. You travel all that way, and you look at it and go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. And you're thinking, oh, fucking hell, I've got work tomorrow as well.
Oh, no, I always never do that. I used to do that when I was younger. I can't do that anymore.
I haven't got much annual leave at work, so I always have to just fucking wing it and just hope that I'm
I've
not
got
too
kids, so you kind of
fucked.
have to plan it where you can kind of get
Oh
away
yeah,
from
of
the
course. Yeah, of course.
It's so hard. So that's thing as well for you guys, touring wise. Is that going to be really easy, or is it kind of got complications? Because aside from my band, we can't realistically do well like a month on tour. That's just unrealistic.
Yeah, I don't think realistically we'd ever be able to do that unless we got some like ridiculous advance from a record label. But like Matt, the guitarist, he's got 2 kids. We've all got like career jobs, if you know what I mean. We're like we can't really jeopardize for doing a job, which I think as well, like that's definitely becoming like a more of a normal thing that people can't really just like dedicate and rely on like doing a band for a living. Because I read an article of like Tomb Mold, and like I think it's one of the guitarists or the bassist. He's like, I've got a really successful like screen printing company. Like, why would I jeopardize that? Yeah. Which is it's just the way things are now, and I think it's kind of cool, like seeing and reading bands when they say stuff like that, because it kind of inspires me and makes me think like, oh well, there is still like hope yet. Like I can still do this. Do you know what I mean? Like I know 33 is still like pretty young in the grand scheme of things. But as well, like when you've been doing it so long, you think like, oh, I'm getting too old for this. But I don't think I am. I don't think any of us are. I think, you know.
Would you still try and sleep in a car though? Because I've done that and I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fuck that.
When you've got 5 big dudes like in our band, it's just really unrealistic. It's just like you're pretty much laying on each other.
Yeah, it is.
And we're all rank and sweaty. It's just not nice. I'm too old for that shit now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I am too old for that. I tell you now. Yeah, I don't think I'd even camp at a festival nowadays.
No, I agree with you. My hay fever's rank at the best of times. If I try and enjoy it, I'm blind.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. I was half expecting you to be like, "Oh, you fucking pussy."
No, I totally agree. If I had it my way and I had the money, I'd go the whole VIP treatment on my car right next to my tent.
Yeah.
Or have an RV or something like that. I'd fucking love that.
It'd be so good,
have my own toilet. It'd be amazing. Because the music's brilliant, but the camping side sucks. I hate that.
Yeah. I think the last time I did, I was filming at Download, and even that, like, because I was in the special area, even that was fucking horrible.
Download, that's such hard work.
Yeah, it's fucking trek everywhere, isn't it?
It's like 2 miles to get to the stage, and then by that point you're knackered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it always rains.
Yeah.
So what was I going to ask you? I forgot now. That's really bad. I had a really good question. Shit. What was it? Ken or something like that? Yeah, I'm reading the comments, sorry, as well. I'll put it on here so you can see. I've got Peter from the Metal Vault on. Hello, Peter. Hope you're well, mate. But yeah, so has anyone got any other questions for Tom? So, like, what was I going to say? So you're not going to do, obviously, the touring side of things.
I think like we'll be able to manage like a 2-week tour, like, you know, like if we go over to the States, like to do. That's why I said, like, you know, if we do a coast at a time, like it's kind of feasible to like go over there and do like 2 weeks.
That would be, I guess, your 2 weeks holiday, wouldn't it? For the whole
year, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a bit of unpaid leave as well.
Well, yeah, there's that as well, wouldn't there? Yeah. My missus will still want to go on holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that exact same issue. Got to bring her or not.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the thing, innit? We'll all do what we can, you know what I mean?
So musically, what are you listening to at the moment? What's got your ear?
So I've just got that Morbific album on CD. Just got that from, and this isn't a paid endorsement, but I ordered that and the Fossilization EP off of Dark Blasphemies Records. And
yeah.
he posted that out on Monday, and it turned up by Wednesday, and I couldn't. And he's in Spain, and I couldn't fucking believe how quick it got here.
You do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Throw really hard.
Yeah. But yeah, they're my two big ones, and I've been like re-listening to some from last year. So I've been re-listening to like Faceless Burial quite a lot, and that Question. Did you ever listen to that? They're like a Mexican death metal band. A lot of people seem to have like missed them, and it's fucking like it's so good.
What are they called?
Question, but they've got
just
like
Question. Okay.
Just Question. Yeah, if you look for like Question, I think it's just Question Death Metal on Instagram or something. Or but yeah, they've got like fucking amazing artwork on the CD and everything. So yeah, I've been caning that. What else? I just got into that. Is it Dippigus or Dippigus?
Oh yeah, I got that. That is awesome. So much fun.
So good, isn't it?
Mark actually got me into that. Mark, who also mentions a very good point in Eternal Rock. I always think these guys are Polish because they are Polish dudes, but
yeah,
they are a UK. They are a UK band.
I speak to Paul quite a lot, or Pavel, however you say it. But yeah, he's a fucking Grindak. Ugh.
He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he's so good, isn't he? Like he's
so generous as well. And he gave me their album. He gave me this T-shirt. He's fucking. There's a signed note behind me over there from him. Such a nice bloke.
Yeah, exactly the same for me. I did the trade with him, and I think I was going to say like, oh, I got a CD. At this point, we'd like run out of T-shirts. So I was like, I can't really send you anything else. And then like I got a package from him. I was like, fucking hell, like tape, CD, T-shirt, like fucking loads of stickers. Fucking hell, man. Like,
legend,
yeah.
It's all Mark Riddick as well, which looks even more cool.
Yeah. But yeah, they're based sort of like kind of near me as well. They're only in Bedford, which is like 45 minutes from here. But yeah, they're a killer band. Like, love them.
Well, shame they can't play live though. It's only a studio project, aren't they?
Yeah, I didn't realize that at first because it's only two of them, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there was three, but they're trying to move back to Poland, I think.
Oh, right.
So yeah, because I was asking him, it's like, oh, can we please play a show? And he's like, never gonna happen. It's like, oh, why not? And he's like, we're not a live band. It's like, oh,
that sucks.
But then again, when you hear the vocals, how would you replicate that live?
Yeah, that's the trouble with like a lot of them bands that have that like that super like deep thing because it must be so quiet. Like I can't work out.
Dan does it. He has a really deep voice, but he has the mic turned up to the fucking heavens, so you can actually hear him. Whereas when you walk past him, you kind of cough. It's like, it's just like, how quiet are you doing that?
But yeah, I can't think of anything else. What have you got? Anything worth listening to at the moment?
Too much. I mean, to be fair, if I go with tapes just because they're in front of me, we've got Aeon's Abyss, Death Threat from Australia. Really cool underground band. They're now starting up. They're now a full band now. They were two brothers, or three brothers actually, like kind of like AC/DC vibe. But they've got a band behind them, so that's definitely worth checking out.
Nice.
What else have I been jamming? This one, probably everyone knows that one. Beckus.
Oh yeah.
LK band, death metal.
In its purest form.
I mean, it's not a death metal band, but a really cool UK band. You probably won't see it. Thine Inner Sanctum.
I don't think I've heard that before.
Yeah, well, it's one dude from Scotland, and that's probably the most miserable album I've heard this year.
Oh, really? It's not the same guy from Hellripper, is it?
No, it's another dude. It's just it's funny how it's such a I guess Scotland isn't a small place to them, but to us it's like it must be all next to each other. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's quite a few CDs. The Praver, Brent, I got that split. Death Fucker, their new album, that's really cool. Wheel from Germany, have you ever heard of them?
Wheel.
I
feel like I've heard of them, yeah.
They've got a new album, that's really melodic and really kind of sounds like if you like that 80s kind of new wave British heavy metal. They're really, really good. I'm really enjoying that one.
Yeah, nice.
So let's have that. We've got any more comments for you? It's all going quiet now. It was going to be. So yeah, might as well wrap it up then. So yeah, so you got anything to add before we say goodbye? What's happening with the band? Obviously, you have said you've got a split coming up and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think we've covered everything, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good, man. It's been really in depth. Like I've really enjoyed chatting to you.
Well, I was surprised you said yes because I thought you must have loads of people that are after talking to you. This is such a popular band at the moment, and especially when I look on Instagram, you search hashtag Celestial Sanctuary, the kind of stuff people are sharing from you from all over the world. Really opened my.
I'll have to
You
have
need
a
to
look
do it.
into
Yeah. It was something you would never think to do yourself, but I kind of did it for research, just kind of see what the hype is. But it's really surprising how many Americans really jumped on it.
I must say, like with all the like merch we do, it's crazy to me because I know how much like I try and keep the shipping like as low as I can. Like I always have done. The only trouble is like with Church Road, like we share the same Bandcamp, so I have to. It's part of our like agreement that I have to like match what they do by sort of like sneak in the cheaper shipping. But it's still pretty expensive. Like even though I'm only doing it like a little bit less than cost, but it's like it blows my mind how many American people are like buying the t-shirts and like a lot of the CDs I sent out like all to America. I was like, fucking hell, like for one thing, like when I did like the Royal Mail because I do the click and drop thing, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is costing me so much fucking money. But at the same time, it's like it's so cool to see it like a majority, like it is a majority going out there. There's been stuff like going to Japan, like Indonesia, Malaysia, like Australia, New Zealand.
I saw that pull the plug patches, put out your own patch for you as well.
Yeah. That mate, like that was something. Another one of them things. Like, that'd be fucking sick if that happened. I mean, I'm not like I don't have my own battle vest, but like obviously I appreciate patches, and it's just a cool thing. If I had a jacket, yeah. Oh yeah, sick. Well, good. Do you get some off there as well?
I have done, but then I had the problem where my car then went wrong. So credit to the company, I said to him, I can't actually afford my car parts anymore. Can I have a refund?
Really? Oh no!
And he did it straight away, and I was like, fucking hell, what a nice dude, because you would never normally get that.
No, yeah. Simon's a fucking cool guy, man. Like he's just fucking real straight guy. A lot like Paolo from Brutal Cave, like because Paolo is probably like the first person I ever dealt with like in the band, like externally. And he like obviously put that CD out, just a straight shooting guy, man. But yeah, the pull the plug stuff. Yeah, it's fucking. When we got that message, I was like, Jesus, man, this is fucking so cool.
That's really cool because they're doing Metallica now, they do Slayer, they do all the official, don't they? It's all official.
I think we were on the same launch as the Unjustice.
Yeah, you were.
Stuff as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, fuck, that was awesome. But you have to get up at silly o'clock in the morning to even get that patch.
Yeah.
They'll be long gone before.
Yeah, because he doesn't do like massive runs either, does he?
No, and he never represses them either.
No, does he not?
No.
Oh shit!
So all those people that get a Celestial Sanctuary patch, that's it.
Oh right, fuck! I didn't realize that. Oh.
Yeah. They're not kept in stock. They're those are definite ones he's done. I always go, I really like that. I'll wait till payday. They're gone.
Yeah.
So he did a really cool Halo bullets one in the shape of a Spitfire plane.
Oh, nice.
And I was just like, I love that. But yeah, all gone.
Yeah. Oh shit, that sucks.
You've got some nice comments here. That one on there for you.
Oh, cheers, Mark. Thank you very much.
We got this one here.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Kevin Higginbottom's on now.
Nice one, Kevin.
See, you say that, Rick. I've already got the original CD of that. I got mine through Raoul at Memento Mori Records.
Oh, sick. Well, good. Like that, Depegus, is it? I don't know how you say
Depegus.
Yeah, that's through them, isn't it? Memento.
The CD, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got the tape because it came with like the really cool slipcase.
Oh, nice. That's sick.
Which has got different artwork to the actual album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got the. I'll see if I can reach it out. Take my headphones off. Oh, come on. So you can see it like that.
Oh, mate, that's fucking well good.
Then that's the back with the shrunken heads.
Oh, what?
And then you push it out, and that's album artwork like that. So I bought it just because of that.
Yeah, that is fucking quality.
Well, it's got that really cool booklet that tells you about shrunken heads and shit like that. I was really intrigued
yeah.
about it. I was like, I've never heard
How
of
it
that
only
before.
takes 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Like I know we were saying about like that goofy B movie stuff, but I think as far as the band goes, like they do it like pretty good. I know I don't know, it's probably not B movie stuff, but yeah, whatever they're doing is
Well, it
working.
works at the start, doesn't it? And it captures
Yeah,
that
definitely.
atmosphere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
One more comment coming in. We wouldn't need another shot for us. You're getting drunk, are we? I don't know. And Brian as well. It's true, actually.
That's
I
right,
didn't know about the shrunken heads. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Educational death metal.
Cool. Well, I suppose we better see our goodbyes then. 11 o'clock, 2 hours. I'm happy with that.
Oh, fucking hell, as if.
Yeah, man. Well quick.
I knew it would fly by, but I didn't realise it was 2
well,
hours.
I'd say thank you for getting involved, man. That was really, really cool of you to do that because this is all new to me, and I was dead against doing it. But Anthony and Ken pushed it, so we'll have to see if we can get some more guys. Maybe get you involved as well on another one with some other bands.
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of like a British death metal, death off. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm absolutely honoured to be involved, man. Like it's been real fun doing this. It's been great chatting to you, and it's I know you're only up the road, so we got to meet.
It's weird, isn't it? Like it's just weird for me, especially because I've been doing it so long, and you find bands that you actually like and local.
Yeah. So weird as well. That Garden of Eyes guy, I didn't realize he was fucking Norwich as well.
Oh, you're good. Yeah. He's a lot younger than us.
Yeah. But yeah, I've seen his name like popping up on like a load of blogs and everything. Like
he is hardcore in the underground scene. You're good. I'll give him credit. He's got a real big heart for just underground, pushing underground bands, reviews. He does everything. He really puts effort into it.
Yeah,
and he has his own YouTube channel as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I started following that the other day, but yeah, I'm surprised he's not blind with how underground he is.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the reviews he does as well. I mean, I don't know how he finds the time. So much new music, and he's reviewing it like daily.
He must be on furlough.
He must be, or it just doesn't work. Relies purely on death metal goodness.
But yeah, thanks for having me, man. Like I say, it's been an absolute pleasure. I can't believe it's been an hour, more than an hour than what we initially said, which is fucking mad.
Well, yeah, as I say, I didn't want to keep it too long, but it's been good enough. So thank you very, very much, and I will see you in September. Is it the second?
2nd of September, yeah.
Really
if not before, I'll be in Norwich before then. So if I am, I'll let you know, and we can.
Let me know, man. We'll hang out
hook up if you're about. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, right. Well, thank you everyone for checking us out and talking to Tom. And we'll speak to you all guys soon. Take care.
Peace.
Cheers.